Connor Donaldson, part 2.
I'm back.
You're
Am I
welcome
the
back
first
into
one
the
back
basement.
to be on the podcast?
What?
Am I the first one to be on the podcast twice?
Yeah.
Making history.
This is a historic moment in the podcast.
Right. And everyone knows what we're going to talk about. So,
Yeah.
might as well not cut the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you know what it's like to live without a head. So your girlfriend tells me.
Yeah, that was quite a adventure.
You're losing it to a
I don't
dinosaur
know
on
what
the
happened.
safari.
I blacked out. I didn't have a head, so
What's the meaning of life if you don't have a head?
probably like whatever DMT, whatever's going through your head. I don't know.
But you don't have a head.
Well, you are your head. The center,
Yeah.
the center of your consciousness is your head.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel your mind in your kneecap.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So what's life without a head? I mean, even Helen Keller could smell and move her eyebrows.
Yeah, but you also need a heart. You know, just down here, so you'd be dead. It's not really life.
Yeah. That's just
Just
like
whatever.
that's just like anything. Like, have you ever, you know, Metallica, right?
No.
They have they have that one song "One," and the music video is based off of a movie, and I'm pretty sure a book, where a soldier loses all his limbs in war. Like his
Oh, bro, it's
arms,
based
his
off Metal Gear
legs.
Solid.
What?
Phantom Pain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you basically, that game you basically get resurrected as Darth Vader, but I'm talking about like real life. And they're trying to keep him alive, and he starts because if you listen to the song, you know the breakdown, it's like da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. That's actually Morse code for "kill me."
Really?
And because the guy's like using his head to say "kill me" in Morse code.
So like all like thrash metal songs are just kill me.
That's the most metal thing, bro.
I never knew that. Like I knew like Rush had a song that was in Morse code, but of course, because it's Rush, like that's something they would do.
Yeah, but like Rush is one of those bands that would write a song with like every letter of the alphabet as a note, even though there isn't even that many notes in the musical scale. Rush would figure it out.
They use like a word beginning with every single letter of the alphabet
There you go.
in order, and then they do it backwards. That's something Rush would do just because they can.
Yeah, Rush is insane. I would have liked to see Rush before Neil Peart died.
Me too. I really wanted to see him. I had no idea that he was sick.
Me neither. I just woke up one day and he was dead, and I was like, wow, that really
Yeah, that
sucks.
really broke my heart.
I just listened to Rush the rest of that day. So
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Rush, but
They're kind of underrated. I mean, they have. I don't know. They're not overrated like Metallica.
you think Metallica's overrated?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think?
That doesn't mean they're bad. Like when people say like a band is overrated, it seems like they kind of mean it as if they're bad.
Yeah.
That's not what overrated means. It
Right.
just means like
they're
They're maybe a
praised
little bit-
more than they
little,
should be.
exactly.
Yeah. Who do you think's the most overrated musical act of all time?
Metallica's up there. It's got to be like one of the dad bands. It's got to be like AC/DC or something.
Really, not like Justin Bieber or One Direction.
Well, I mean, Justin Bieber kind of died out, you know.
You're right.
Yeah.
I guess those are fads.
Yeah. I mean, AC/DC's been around for almost 50 years.
If I were to say overrated, in my opinion, I don't. It's Aerosmith.
I
is
mean,
overrated.
yeah, they're kind of overrated, but they're not like the most.
Or like not Queen. Pearl Jam.
Queen got pretty overrated once that movie came out.
Yeah, Queen, but Queen's not like you said that people confuse overrated with being bad. Queen's not bad. You know what I
No,
mean?
not
Like
at all.
they're actually really good. So like, do they deserve the praise? More so than other acts might, but I don't think that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of overrated bands in like each genre though.
Oh yeah.
Rappers?
Definitely. Oh yeah. Yeah, but rappers are more of like what we're talking about. They kind of just fade out.
Yeah, they kind of come and go. I mean, I guess like Tupac, he's still popular.
Yeah.
Would you call him overrated?
No, because
I'm
I
not
feel like
really
most
into
people that I know that listen to rap won't put Tupac on.
That's true. Unless you're talking to
Putting
like
on Juice WRLD.
who's someone that grew up in the '90s, maybe.
Yeah. But like, it's just crazy to me because if you die, those rappers that die young last the longest, and the rappers that stay alive die out, which is really weird.
Yeah, but that kind of happens with rock too.
I guess so.
They just kind of like die when they're at their peak, so then their legacy is kind of stagnant at their peak. Like they can't
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah,
There's no way they can go down because they're dead.
It was that way with Kurt Cobain. It was that way with
Jimmy.
And then you got rappers. You got X. Juice WRLD, I think, definitely got more popular after he died.
Yeah, there's always like a surge of whatever
Yeah.
popularity after someone dies, or
Yeah, because it's all over the news. And then
that's true, and it makes you want to think of them, and then you just kind of appreciate them in a different way.
yeah.
And then those people that are always like, you just like him because he's dead. Like, I don't know, why would you like someone because they're dead?
Yeah, why would you find an artist? Wow, I'm gonna listen to this guy. I can never see him live. I can never see her live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're dead.
And probably there is probably a lot of new fans after someone dies because like they're all over the news. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll listen to them because like keep hearing about them more now.
Right.
So yeah, there's probably gonna be more fans.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like streaming services kind of push them a little more after they're dead, as like we pay people, we respects to people, we get clout.
We were talking about this the other day, and I might get crucified for this. This is like totally just talking shit and hypothetical. What if X was still alive, and then like, because he was at his peak, you know.
Yeah.
And then we were saying like that picture, there were some things that were off. Like he was missing that tattoo. There was like no blood, and then like
Right.
everyone just came up to him to
They're just
take
filming
pictures.
it on their phones. Yeah, no one even
Yeah.
called the cops.
which is fucked up in itself.
Yeah,
But
that's a whole nother
what if,
conversation.
what if he faked his death?
Yeah.
And then now all he has to do is like make half songs and then like send them to recording studio and be like, finish this for me. And then like it doesn't even have to be finished because like they just keep releasing his music
Yeah.
half finished.
What's it called? A posthumous album?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, when they release an artist stuff that, like demos that they so-called made when they were still alive. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's
what
kind
if-
of weird. It's kind of weird. Like I don't know like the average like work ethic of a rapper, but he sure does have a lot of songs.
Yeah, just think about it. He's like, if you die during your peak, right? People are always gonna remember you as like a legend, and you're still gonna make money off the few albums you already made.
Exactly.
And then he's already rich as hell, so he can go get plastic surgery and live on an island somewhere, and just living off royalties. And then whenever he wants to make a buck, he can just do those half-ass songs.
Where do you think he'd be living?
Where X would be living?
Yeah, where would X be?
Dude, I don't know, man. Where would X be? It would be some like weird island, or it would be like.
Do you think he moved on to like the Epstein Island? Do you think he bought it?
Oh yeah. Jeffrey Epstein went away. They put his island up for auction, and X was like, "Yo,
Yeah, but his name is like Y now, Mr. Y.
who X?
Yeah.
Mr.
I
Y.
don't know.
he's
Yeah, he has to
he's
have, like-
Asian now." That's ridiculous, bro. Like, imagine some like huge business mod goal.
Your life would be made. Like I feel like it'd be more stressful. Like you reach that much popularity, then you have to keep living up to it. Otherwise, you fade away.
Right.
With other rappers, or like it just gets exhausting, and you're just tired of it.
Right.
And you don't want to.
But if
I feel like
But if you're dead, you don't got to keep pushing your clout because your clout is there forever, as it was.
exactly, and then you don't have to worry about your image. So you can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Because people fuck up.
You get plastic surgery like everyone else in Hollywood does, and you gonna live somewhere.
I feel like it'd get tiring just like being idolized like that.
I feel like it would too. Like it would be great for like a year or two, a couple of years maybe, but like I feel like, cause you wouldn't be able to be yourself in public.
No.
You would
you
have.
got people following you around taking pictures.
Yeah, the problem with being a celebrity is you have to be what everyone else wants you to be at all times. like you have to be.
Yeah.
You have to act how the public wants you to act. You have to act like the status quo. Otherwise,
Exactly.
you're gonna get ripped apart on Twitter and Facebook.
And people are dynamic, so
Right.
they change.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing though. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I mean, I deleted Facebook. So if you've been tagging me in memes on Facebook,
Dude, I
I'm
saw
not
you something
looking at it.
shared. I saw you share something like an hour ago.
I went on today because I go on before I do the podcasts, and I just
Oh,
kind of check the news sites
Okay.
just to see like anything spicy, and if I share some things because all I post really on my Facebook now is like the podcasts, and then
That's
I
fair.
get off of it. I don't know, man. I think I talked about this with someone else on the podcast before I deleted my Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it was you, where I just go into this rabbit hole in social media, where I'm always arguing with people, and
Yeah,
I find
dude,
myself
okay.
just not liking people based on who they pretend to be on social media.
Yeah, especially what's been going on in the past week.
Oh yeah.
I've realized this, and I was thinking about, because I was totally guilty of it, like arguing and stuff.
Right.
It's just disgusting, and like, it's like porn, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, it feels so good in the moment.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today. It's like porn because it feels so good in the moment, especially like the nastier you get. Like you get like so nasty with people in the comments, and you just get mean. It's nasty, and then like the nastier it is, and but at the end you're just like, fuck.
Yeah. What did this?
I did that. Yeah. You're like, I'm just mean. I'm just a dick.
Yeah, I find myself that. And
And then you just end up feeling lower than you did before.
Exactly.
Like, is it even worth that? That's why it's like porn, dude. It's like jacking off.
That's
I don't know
Is jacking off a sport?
Could be Olympic jacking.
Hey man, if golf is a sport, jacking is a sport. Like, or
There would be totally opposite
you could-
sports, though.
if you could tell me that if frisbee or fucking flying a kite is a sport, or
Do
any
you
of
think
those
there would be
things.
like Olympic soggy biscuit, where like
No.
the top the top athletes of the world are in a circle?
Stop. You're gonna get me taken down.
What? Still copyright?
YouTube isn't.
Do you think the Olympic Committee is gonna watch this and be like, dude?
These two are onto something.
Yeah,
These two might be onto something.
Yeah, but like we know how to revive the popularity of the Olympics. Not that I think it was ever unpopular. But
The sex games, the Olympic sex games.
I feel like that's probably something.
You ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah, I'm baiting. I'm baiting.
I feel like we're heading towards that as a society, and I feel like the Olympic sex games would be part of society. We're talking about
Olympic
like, I don't know,
sex.
2060, 2070, when we're all blue. Like,
Why are we blue?
because we decided that the only way to destroy racism was to just color ourselves blue. We're just all blue now.
Yeah,
that's why
or,
all
like,
aliens are like.
Yeah, there's
all
like some
green.
mineral that people eat as like a supplement. I forgot what it was, but it turns your skin blue.
What?
So like, what if like we change to like a supplement based diet, because like all the vegans are like, stop eating meat, and then
Yeah.
like they just reach a compromise where it's like we have like a supplement based diet where it's just all pills and minerals, but like we have that blue mineral. I forgot what it's called. I wish I could remember what it was.
And it just makes us all blue.
Yeah, like you can look it up. It makes your skin blue. There's this.
Is it a mineral or is it like a pill?
It's a. Yeah, it's a mineral.
I don't know.
Like there's this old guy.
Hey man, donate to this podcast to
Is there a
give me a better
GoFundMe?
computer. But after you donate to something that's actually worthwhile.
Yeah, go donate to like the medics in Minneapolis or whatever.
Yeah, or any of the actual good causes going around for
Exactly.
social justice right now. I don't know that.
Shout out to the people doing first aid and stuff, and handing out food and water,
Yeah, shout out.
and everyone else.
How do you
taking part,
pronounce
too.
that? Argyria?
Okay. No,
When
I,
it's-
I feel like it's something like it's common.
The salt, when exposed to sunlight,
silver,
the silver
yeah.
salt turns back to silver and colors your skin blue.
Yeah, go on images or videos. There's this old dude who just takes.
Oh
That's him.
my
That's him.
God.
That's real.
Yep, that's the color of us in the future.
Yeah, when we were taking our supplement-based diet,
Oh my
we just
God.
eat silver and salt and iron. Yeah, you need to put a picture of that up on the video in post.
That's terrifying, but at the same time, like, what if we all looked like that? We would literally be like
Racism ended.
the blue. Yeah.
The
We
Blue
would-
Man Group's like,
Yeah.
fuck, we gotta change our brand. We're not special anymore. What would they change to?
We just like the national anthem gets
Green
changed to
Man?
the Eiffel 65 song.
By then, it's just like the New World Order, so it's just like the one world government national anthem.
We've just decided that we're gonna become the aliens. We start going around flying saucers and shit.
I mean, that's all relative. I mean, we already are.
Yeah, it's just all perception. Everything's perception.
That's
That's what I always say, though.
That's true.
Like, I guess yeah, we should talk about it, but everything going on right now, because that's all perception. No matter who you are as a person, where you stand on anything, it's all about what me and Nate were talking about, nature versus nurture, and your perception on things, and how you grew up, and what you grew around, who is around you, who raised you, what has happened to you, and your experiences in your life. What do you do on a daily basis to keep your mind and body healthy compared to everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Your views, your opinions, your politics. And I think this is a very important time for everyone to just to start to be more accepting and more aware of other people's perception and other people's point of views. Because right now,
Exactly, and you don't know if it's gonna go that way.
you don't.
Like, what exactly is the end goal here? Is there some? I mean, is it like legislation? Is it just hoping people are gonna stop? Like, what exactly is the end goal? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like abolish the police force.
Yeah. I think that, but you could ask that to anyone, and they'd all have different answers, probably.
Exactly.
And that
It's like it's a mess. That's why it's a mess, because like everyone, it's like everyone's on the same team, but with different end goals.
Yeah, and different methods and different ideas. It's like it's just a really it's a really sticky situation. If do you know who Daryl Davis is?
It sounds familiar.
He is a African American
Oh, I
blues
know. Yeah,
musician, and he was on Rogan a lot, like maybe a couple months ago. And I just started watching it recently because of everything going on, and the man's a genius. He had a very good way of articulating his ideas and expressing them. That he said, because he's the black guy that went to KKK rallies, and he's turned over 200 KKK members to just give up their robes and give up the Klan, through friendship and through peace and through, because what he would do is he would actually sit down, he would talk to them, and he would try to become friends with them, and over time he turned over 200 people to just give up the Klan, and that's way more of a powerful thing than burning a police car.
Yeah, that is the issue. Here is just communication. I feel like communication's just been the issue of human nature throughout.
Exactly.
Yeah, because before they didn't have any long distance communication that was fast like we do now. Like they couldn't text each other, so like they would stay really tribal and close. So like outsiders, it wasn't really easy to communicate, so they were just seen as outsiders and oftentimes enemies.
Yeah, that was.
Or people to take over, like depending what group we're talking about here.
Yeah, but that boils down to ignorance because they didn't know them. Just like, I think all these problems with equality just boil down to ignorance. I think that because you have to try to understand racism, to understand why it's a thing, to try to understand what it is. It's ignorance.
For sure.
It's a narrative. It's a false narrative that you're fed, that these people are fed, and they grow to believe.
To either feed your
Because
anger, to feed
right, and
something.
ignorance is the unknown. You don't know,
Right.
and that leads to fear. You fear the unknown.
Mhm.
That's why people fear the dark. You
Yeah.
fear the unknown, and fear leads to hatred. You hate what you fear. You're
Yeah, or
ignorant.
you turn it away. You just pretend it's not there, which is
Exactly.
part of the problem too. There's a lot of people just ignoring what's going on,
Exactly.
and that's why people feel the need to be destructive to be heard.
Yeah, that's the whole view, the whole perception is that peace isn't working, so we have to meet violence with violence. But everyone knows that the best way to get rid of a fire is by pouring gasoline on it. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, there's a lot of fuel that's been added to this
Yeah,
day by day.
there was there was there was one instance in Flint, Michigan, where the cops actually marched with the protesters.
That happened in a few cities, and at first, everyone was like, "Wow, that's nice, cool." And like as of like yesterday and today, it's like that's cop propaganda. They still hate you. Like, okay, so the way I see it, most cops as individuals aren't bad people, and I understand that a lot of them don't call out their fellow cops, but then again, not every police department has bad cops.
Yeah. The problem is cops are generalized because they're departmentalized. By
Mhm.
state. The cops in one city might be different, or are
Complete.
different from cops
Yeah.
in another city. And
Sure.
what happens is if one cop or two cops is corrupt, and the other cops
Yeah, it's
don't,
like a virus.
the other
It
cops don't
spreads.
do anything, or don't say anything about it, then they're technically complicit
Exactly.
in their actions. So what they end up doing is, if one of them's corrupt and like, here, dude, here's some money, and the other one's like, okay, you're complicit, which means you can't. If you told on them, or it goes down a hole because now your whole station is corrupt,
It's a
and no
virus.
one can do anything because cops are terrified to go to jail. Like,
Exactly.
you ever see cops in prison, man? They don't last very long in prison. Ex cops,
Mhm.
because you're going there with everyone you put away.
Right.
So it's just
And people don't like to snitch either.
no.
Even when it's something like really bad, it's just some kind of human nature.
And especially if
But
you're
I'm not
technically
defending
complicit.
it. I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to understand it.
Same. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
you
So don't get me wrong, people
That's
listening.
that's what I'm saying. Is everyone hates each other, but it's just the root is ignorance. You have to look at the root, and you have to try to understand the roots of these problems. Because if you
Mhm.
if you understand and you talk about them peacefully and civilly, that is the only, in my opinion, the only way you can actually get through something. If you hate someone, you're automatically dropping the truth. You're automatically dropping the search for
Mhm.
compassion and
Dude, it's like the porn again.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone's getting so worked up.
Everyone.
So
Yeah,
like the
but then that's the
they're getting
problem with
so worked
social
up.
media.
This destruction, hatred. Everyone, just
Yeah.
expressing their fullest emotions as possible, and at the end, I feel like everyone's just gonna be like, "Wow,
They're like procrastinately outraged.
yeah." I feel like it's just gonna be a big burnout at the end of this.
People like feed off it now. They feed off of the hate and the anger and the fear and the
Because people
being
join them for one, and then they feel like they're part of something, and they feel like they get the support.
they have this. I think social media just gives people a false sense of superiority. They share
Yeah.
something that gets a bunch of likes, and it's just some random person's like opinion on Twitter, right? And automatically they just feel superior to everyone. Wow, I shared this on Facebook. I'm an activist. I'm a good person. What in reality?
Yeah.
In reality,
In reality, Facebook isn't there. In reality,
Yeah, exactly.
Facebook is a screen.
yeah, you're just sitting in your room. You're not an activist.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about last
I'm
time
not
on the
an
podcast. Like you're projecting yourself on a global scale where you think it matters way more than it actually does.
Right.
Because like most people aren't gonna change their minds for one.
No.
Most people won't even consciously remember what they looked at on Facebook
Yeah.
after they close it. They might remember like one or two things that they either really liked or really hated.
Yeah, that's kind of true, bro.
It's just like you're brain dead while you're looking through it, and everyone's guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. You're just, and then you close out, and then just, it's like that tab in your brain is just, you close that tab too.
Yeah, it's really, I definitely see what you mean, because I will be on my phone. You can ask my girlfriend. Shout out to Hannah. You can
Shout out to
just
Hannah.
watch me. I'll just be sitting on my phone, and then I'll put my phone down, trying to get off it. But then I'll be so like numbed. My brain will be so numb from being on my phone. That's all I want to do now. It's just more numbing of more numbing of my brain. Watch some TV. I rarely want to be
recover
productive.
from it.
Yeah,
it's a feeling. A brain numbing is a feeling, and I hate it.
exactly.
But I bring it upon myself.
Yeah, and it's hard to be productive when you numb your brain like that. And that's like different than like smoking weed, or maybe even playing video games, because at least you're a little more productive when you're playing video games.
Yeah, but you can get sucked into video games too. You can get sucked into drugs too.
Oh no, I'm not saying you can't get sucked into it. I'm saying
but
it's different. Like the sensation you get from social media, and because when you're on social media, you're so numbed. You feel like you're connected with everybody, and you feel like you're
Well, you get like all this dopamine
right
from it. You get likes, you get contact.
Right.
It's
just, I'm so happy I deleted my Facebook, especially with everything going on right now, because I've been on my Instagram and I've been sharing things like justice for George Floyd and stuff.
Yeah.
Just some stuff, but I'm not, because I've seen people posting like, we need to rise up and riot and destroy a bunch of businesses and loot Targets and stuff, and I'm like,
I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck about Target.
Pretentious fuck about Target.
Pretentious dicks.
What's wrong with Target, Connor?
They're pretentious. People who shop there are pretentious. And you know what
Target.
I mean. Okay, you pretentious fuck.
I just wanna. They got nice clothes, bro.
Oh, I can get my Target socks for $1.
Dude, I just don't like going to Walmart because I don't like.
There is a third option. What I'm gonna say. There's Meijer, bro.
Meijer is like.
Meijer's fucking great. You know what's underrated? Aldi. You know what?
Yeah.
I may be the only person under 40 that goes there.
What, Aldi?
Yeah. Well, it's underrated.
So just shopping at the Dollar Tree is underrated.
True.
They got everything.
Okay, your perspective on shopping changes after you got bills to pay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you got bills to pay. That's your absolute priority. You can't put that off.
Right. So you go to the Dollar Tree and you buy 6 packs of ramen noodles, just in case.
Exactly. And then you just like, fuck, I'm sick of ramen. But like,
do you not eat out a lot?
I do. I eat out too much. I've been eating out too much lately.
Yeah,
I've been just lazy.
I went to Beefroot today. It was smack, but I needed to chill.
Yeah, like I don't even bring lunches to work. I just go to McDonald's or Taco Bell. Like it makes me sick. Like I don't even know why I do it. I've just been lazy. Yeah, but like I have phases where I'm a lot better with it.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's a cycle of like I'm getting sick of this, so like I'm gonna work on this.
Yeah.
And then I do it, and then it just goes back down to like, okay, I can slip, and I slip, and then I lose that discipline.
Yeah, that's like pretty much exactly how I am too, because I'll go like a whole 2 weeks without really getting any fast food or something, and then Hannah will be like, yo, let's go get some Taco John's, and I eat a whole soup potato away the next day. Let's go get Arby's, and then I'm right back down that hole.
Yeah, and just making your own dinner, just like, I don't want to do my dinner. You gotta do the dishes. I don't even know what to eat, bro. You just kind of run out of options to eat. Well, you really don't, but it feels like you do.
Right.
It's just like, fuck. Even though you just end up eating the same thing over and over again from McDonald's or whatever.
You should just, you should start learning how to cook, Connor. You should start learning how to be like a fucking
I can kind of
chef.
cook. I can kind of cook.
You should go on like Hell's Kitchen or something.
I would die.
Gordon Ramsay yells at you, you just instantly
I
die.
would instantly just choke to death. I would instantly get an aneurysm.
I would go on Hell's Kitchen just to make a fool of myself and piss off Ramsay, just to get the attention. Like he would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'll like
making some
tickle his
ramen,
belly.
man.
I'll be like, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I'll just make it. You just smuggle in like a pack of ramen. You just like cooking on this. What the hell is that?
He tells you
Bro,
to make a halibut,
bro,
and you're putting out a ramen.
Bro, I'm
Cooking
just
my
vibing.
halibut,
I'm just
bro.
vibing, bro. I ain't got that much money. These are only like 20 cents each, man.
Dude, I was watching MasterChef, and there's just a guy on there, and Ramsey literally ripped him so hard because he's like, I never cooked with whipped cream before. And Ramsey was like, stop. And he got like everyone around in the whole place, stop, everybody stop. This man has never worked with whipped cream. And he's just standing there like, oh shit, what did I just do?
Well, how do you work with whipped cream other than like putting it on your pie or whatever?
I don't know. I think it was a dessert challenge that they were doing.
You just make your dessert. You just
He
make
goes-
your
he-
hot apple pie and you just go, you know? Or you just take the can and you just go.
He's like, I don't like whipped cream, so I've never worked with it.
And Ramsey's like, you think this is all about you? And the dude just looked like he was gonna fucking cry, bro. You're getting yelled at by Ramsey on fucking national television. You just know your mom's at home watching it, and you're just like,
Sorry, mom. I should have ate your whipped cream.
that show's hilarious though. You have people like at Hell's Kitchen. There's a big guy who was trying to fight Ramsey. He was like squaring up with him, and Ramsey's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight you.
He's probably just on amphetamines or something.
Yeah, there's some.
You know who he is?
Hmm?
Trump is. Trump is on.
Oh yeah, totally. Trump is fucking totally on something.
He's good for him. He's living the life. He doesn't give a fuck. That's the whole basis of like the Trump presidency. Is like he does not give a fuck.
Yeah,
And some people really admire that. And I can kind of respect it.
I can.
But
It's like what I was saying. earlier.
it's entertainment.
I understand different perceptions, and people's perception that they like Trump because he's anti. You know, he says he's anti-establishment. He doesn't give a fuck. But in my point of view, he's just he might not give a fuck, but that's the problem.
Did you hear about the leaks?
the
anonymous leaks?
the Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I think I
you guys should have figured this out when Epstein died and everyone realized that he was friends with him. And Clinton
Yeah.
was on it too.
not only
So like, everyone's like, "You happy you voted for Trump now?" Like, remember who the other candidate was? It was Hillary Clinton. With the same fucking connections. Like,
yeah,
it
Bill
would.
Clinton.
This would have been no different.
For sure, Bill Clinton and Epstein were friends too, just like Trump. Trump and
The Clinton.
Bill Gates is friends with
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
The creator of The Simpsons is.
Everyone knows,
Apparently,
though.
what's his name? Matt Groening or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Apparently, there was some document leaked. It was a while ago. No one really talked about it. Like, he was on the plane with Epstein, and like some 14-year-old girl was rubbing his feet. So yeah, if you like The Simpsons, you like pedophiles. If you like anything, you probably like pedophiles, because a lot of these people are in on it.
Oh no, but that's why he was killed in prison because everyone was in on it. Everyone.
Yeah, he was about to. Yeah, so but now that Trump is in on it, and I haven't really looked at the documents, and I don't know how to verify its legitimacy. But like, I'm not denying it. I'm not gonna deny it's true.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be surprising at all, because everyone knows the connections.
Oh yeah, but everyone knows that all those top dogs, as people would say, or all these creators are in on it. Like that's why I love Ricky Gervais so much.
Yeah, you
Because
fucking
he
called him out.
called everyone out. He goes, "It really sucks for all you having to take your own plane this time to the Oscars."
Called all those guys out. Even
Everyone's
Tom
there.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks is like,
I love Tom Hanks' acting, but
Yeah.
he's probably in on it too. Creepy
Yeah.
old fucking dude.
all those people. Hey, his son has like a big ass like third eye Illuminati tattoo on his chest.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Wait, Hanks has an Illuminati tattoo.
his son.
Oh, his son.
His son is
does.
like a rapper.
What?
Yeah,
Tom Hanks' son is a rapper?
yeah. Look it up.
I was about to read this document we were talking about, but this is way more
You can't
important.
keep on tracking. We started this off, and I was saying, like, yep, we're going to talk about Black Lives Matter, and then, like, we didn't, and we finally got into it for, like, 2 minutes.
We'll get back into it.
We'll get back in.
We'll get back in. This
This is going to be a weavy.
Chet.
This is going to be a very weavy podcast.
Weavy.
Yeah, we're just
Oh,
going to, like,
God.
weave in and out. Yeah, look at him.
He's J-Rock.
Literally. His name is Chet?
Chet.
Chet Hanks.
I hate the name Chet after watching F is for Family. Alright, let's get back into this. Yeah, so I don't really know how to read these that well. But this seems pretty... Oh, I have to buy it.
That's not very anonymous of anonymous.
You're reading a preview.
That's not very...
I have to get a account.
That's not very pro-anonymous. They should have just put that shit in Google Docs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it should. You shouldn't have to pay to fucking read this. The hell. I'm not paying for it, but yeah, it's Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's rape lawsuit and the affidavits. I'm not a lawyer.
Affidavits.
Affidavits. I'm not smart.
It's just all legal papers, court papers, basically.
Well, it just blows my mind people even support him, Trump, but it blows my mind that people support Biden, and it blows my mind people support any other people. Like, it blows my mind people
No,
support
they're all-
our
yeah, like,
any of our
anyone-
systems right now.
Everyone just picks sides, but, like, they're just as bad as each other.
Yeah.
It just, like, it's like what you want to believe in and what you want to deny and just kind of tuck
Yeah.
away in the corner. Can't see. It's in the shadows. There's not good light over there, so we'll just tuck it away over there.
Yep.
And then we'll, in the bright room, we'll pick out the other side. Be like, look at this bastard. Orange
Yeah.
man.
What I love is
Look at this bastard in the bright light. You can see his fake tan.
You can see his fake tan. There was,
I
there's
like making
one-
fun of Trump, but I also like making fun of people that make fun of Trump.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I don't really
'Cause
like Trump either.
I think people just don't like Trump because the internet tells them not to like Trump. Well, if you're actually
especially
know what's
like,
up, you don't
especially
like Trump
4
because of
years
other
ago,
people. Yeah.
that was as bad, and like, I feel like he might as well should have had some hope when he first got elected.
Yeah.
You know, just give him praise where it's due.
Yeah,
Because like, there's nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah.
Like, you can say like, dump Trump, #dump Trump, but like, did you dump Trump?
Yeah, if you go
You're
into
not gonna dump Trump.
if you go into his presidency hoping he fails, what why would you do that? Why would you want?
know, 'cause,
why
like,
would
that-
you want him to fail? He's your
That
he
means,
is
like,
our-
everything-
It's our nation. Why
yeah,
would you
that
want our
means,
nation
like,
to fail?
Everything he does that's beneficial to us, you even twist that, and it's really toxic.
Here's something though that, like we were talking about, CNN published more than 700 stories on allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, but they haven't published a single one against a Biden accuser. Like, they haven't
No.
posted a single. CNN hasn't made a single article about Biden being rapey, but
They made over 700 about Brett Kavanaugh.
I mean, they're not. I mean, I trust CNN. They're not biased. I totally trust CNN. So that means Biden is not guilty
No, man.
because they're not biased. I love CNN. Fuck Fox News.
Yeah, dude.
More
my
like
mom was
Fox
watching
News.
Fox, and I
Haha.
was like, they're both bad. And Fox was just shitting all over protesters, like protesters killing cops, rioting and murdering and pillaging, and they're gonna fucking kill you. And you better lock your doors at night because a fucking bunch of armed protesters are gonna come and fucking kill your dog and strangle you.
Antifa.
Yeah, but
BLM
but-
equals Antifa.
but they don't make any fucking anything about cops shooting rubber bullets at people. And
Yeah, or inciting violence, even though
Yeah.
like it's clearly been proven and caught. Like
Literally.
there was a guy that burned down the AutoZone in Minneapolis. He was a cop.
it was a cop that burned it down.
Yeah, he put on like civilian clothes and like a gas mask and a face shield. So, but like people caught him like someone got like a really good picture of his face, and someone confirmed that they knew him, and it was the same guy. Like a picture of him like side by side, it was the same guy. And they proved it was him. I think he got fired too. So like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What's going on here? There's something really weird going on here, cause like there's all those like sites with like the random bricks. You hear about that?
Yeah.
There's something going on here.
That's what because you gotta be really careful with these subjects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what's actually going on behind closed doors during these things.
And sometimes if you act like there is something going on behind closed doors, like people will shame you for that too.
Exactly.
But like you gotta keep an open mind.
Yeah, like
This is shady.
Is it a coincidence that just a month ago we're all locked down, right? All you hear about is COVID deaths, stay inside, martial law, COVID deaths.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when everything starts getting, hey, we're starting to lift restrictions. We're starting, summer's coming. Maybe things are starting to get back to normal sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then instantly just martial law, deaths,
Yeah.
murder, looting,
Mass gatherings.
And it was like literally right after. Like, I haven't seen one thing about COVID in like the past week on the news.
I did today. It was like 19,000 new cases. And it was like a picture of like a protest. I'm like, so you think they all already got tested? Doesn't it take like weeks for symptoms to show up? And they're gonna blame that. Just like when some states like open back up or they relax their laws last month on the 1st, I think. There was an article on there too on the 1st, like 1 billion new cases. Not a billion, but it was just like on the day of to make it look like it was already a bad thing.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
So there was already new cases, and they just waited to post it till that day just to make it like just to fit their narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's that article going around about Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Just like what? Distract harder, bitch. Like you're freaking everyone out, and everyone shares the fucking headline. But then when you read it, it's like, oh, this is completely normal, by the way.
Ignorance breeds fear.
Yeah. Oh, there's over 3,000 earthquakes there per year. This is totally normal. A couple dozen the past few days. If you do the math, bro.
Ignorance breeds fear. That's why.
But
but that's how they
why
get
are they
you.
pushing that? Like,
That's how they get you. They
Distract
make
harder,
you
bitch.
scared.
distract me harder. Like,
Connor's challenging the system right now.
I know. Yeah.
Connor
Well,
sees right through the
whatever.
matrix.
Yeah. I see through your shit.
We see right through the matrix. We see right through it.
I mean, at least they fucking admit it in the article. But like, why is that there? Isn't that really suspicious? It is clickbait. It's just like, at the height of fear, you're gonna breed more fear, and that is just clickbait in itself.
Exactly.
There's articles going around like, there's gonna be an asteroid hitting the Earth at 1 billion miles per hour, and it's gonna fucking explode everything. But it's like from a tabloid.
Yeah. No. What?
But that Yellowstone was not from a tabloid though. It was from like an insider, which I don't know much about insider, but
I don't either.
they're not. I know they're not like a tabloid,
What's a tabloid?
like National Enquirer and shit.
Oh.
Like what you see at like the grocery stores when you're checking out, and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
all their faces are like photoshopped to make them look dead inside.
Yeah. What is
They're
with
like-
those?
And it's like the queen is dead.
Yeah. What is with those?
It's just fake news.
Why is do people actually buy those?
Obviously, they've been around as long as I remember.
Because every time I go into like a store or something, I see those. It'll be like Harry Styles murders his grandmother with a shark, and it'll have a picture of him like this.
And he's
And
like,
then, like-
it's obviously Photoshop for him to like make him look like a zombie.
And
It's
there's
just
some old
it's
lady
terrible.
looking at it. She's like, "Who's Harry Styles?" So
People eat that shit up.
yeah.
I think like Planet Numeru is coming to make a collision with Earth, and the aliens are gonna come off and they're gonna probe us all.
The one I always see is like Obama, something about Obama
being gay, and the other one
Yeah,
about...
because
and the other
they're
one-
very like, very right wing.
Yeah.
Like they're like all Trump supporters and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like those, like the people who make those.
Yeah, like National Enquirer and stuff.
Oh, okay.
They're very far right. So
That
like
makes
that's
sense.
why you always see like, Michelle Obama is a man. More like Michael Obama.
Dude,
And like it's like
how is that even legal? How is it legal to make those?
First
That's like
Amendment.
if I made
First
a whole
Amendment.
news site and whole
Newspaper and put it all over the world. That was like, Connor Donaldson is secretly a transgender morphed zebra who escaped from the Chicagoland Zoo.
Who? Who? People might buy it, but I mean like, there's nothing really stopping you.
Yeah, I mean that's why Clickhole's a thing.
Well, Clickhole is like satire.
That's what I mean though.
Yeah.
Is
That-
Clickhole makes fun of that.
Right, yeah. National Enquirer isn't even satire, it's just fake news.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Clickhole makes fun of that shit.
Yeah, I
Like,
love Clickhole. And
me too.
Babylon Bee,
those
The
si-
Onion.
Yeah, those sites make like the hard times. Those sites make me like have a passion.
I love it when it's like, the satire is so good that people think it's real.
Yeah, the best one ever to date, which I show people and they think it's real, so they get like all like crazy about it. But it's like they taught a gorilla like sign language, and they taught it that it was gonna die, and then it made it depressed or something, and like everyone was sharing it thinking it was real and stuff, because they would have this gorilla and they'd be like Coco die, Coco rot and die, and they'd be like the.
It's good stuff. And like, the thing I love about them is that like, there's like obviously like biased articles, but it's on both sides for every site. Like I see like, right wing leaning ones and left wing leaning ones
Right.
from like Clickhole or whatever. I think Babylon Bee is more like right side, but I don't think they're like extreme.
All right, we're back. My little brother was going. Nah.
I thought there was a ghost. I thought we were being haunted.
I'm pretty sure there's a ghost in my house, man. Me and
So-
Miles were talking about that on the first ever podcast.
Why do you think there's?
Oh, do you hear that? Do you guys
Dude, what
fucking
is
hear
he
that?
doing? Is he
Reese,
jacking off?
shut the fuck up!
That's Reese.
Yeah.
He's jacking off. He's arguing on Facebook. That's how he gets off. Like everyone else nowadays.
Yeah, dude.
Just typing his.
The thing is they feel like they have a superiority and clout from sharing it. Like I feel like the most
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter thing I see are from white people.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
how much is that from guilt?
Yeah, white guilt.
Yeah.
I'm a huge supporter of all people. I think
Don't say all lives matter. Don't
I'm
do
not-
it.
I'm
Don't
not-
do it,
I'm
Jacob.
not.
Don't say it.
I'm not. I'm saying that we're all one race. We're all the human race. So like.
But they use that against you too. If you say something like that, they use that against you. If
No,
you say
yeah,
if you
because
say
we-
stuff like I don't see color, they will use that against you too.
This is gonna come back to bite me in the ass. I think we need to get rid of all, like Black History Month, Pride Month, Women's Month, Men's Month. We need to just all have, because what happens?
I get what you're saying because
finish, so
I'm sorry.
so they don't take it out of context.
okay.
Because when these things were invented, they were good. They were good things because they didn't teach Pride history and they didn't teach Black history in schools and they didn't do this. So when these things were first made, Black History Month, Pride Month, Women's Month, they were first introducing these things into the school curriculums and teaching these kids things, and it was great at first. But now we've come to a day and age where school systems are just so stupid, they mess it up, that you're getting taught about the same 5 black people only in February, whereas
Yeah.
the other 8 months of the curriculum,
Right,
you're
it
all
should
it's just
be-
all white people. You're learning Benjamin Franklin,
All the founding fathers
founding
and then
fathers, yeah,
the presidents.
yeah, and the only month you ever learn about black people is in February, and it's the same.
Essentially.
Not taken away from these people. These are some
Yeah.
of the biggest people in history. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, those people.
Mhm.
But
But when you only talk about it's Black History Month, let's talk about these guys now for a month, and then the second that it turns into March, it's all right. Let's learn more about the white guys again now. And
Yeah.
It needs to just be American history. It needs to be all put together into one big curriculum. Because what's happening is kids are growing up thinking there's only been 5 black people who've ever done anything.
Right, and in a way, you are pushing those people aside.
Right.
For that month.
It's one of those things where too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Because
it's like you're putting them like on an extra pedestal, but in a way that still is separating.
Exactly.
Like it's positive because you're not bringing them down.
But it's
very complicated.
It creates confusion.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like some complicated thing in like some sort of what is going on up there?
I'm gonna fucking kill them, bro. I'm serious. I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Disclaimer: he's not gonna kill him. There's no plan to murder here.
Back again for the fucking 3rd cutout. Getting cut off by.
As I was saying, it's some kind of like psychological way of putting that aside.
Right.
Where it's like you're treating them differently still.
Yeah, and
you're not treating them like a person.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's great to celebrate everybody's differences. It's great to appreciate everybody for being individuals. But there's a difference between how do I say this? Being offended by something or being more so welcoming of your own differences between people. It's because this is such like a gray area of talking here because we're just 2 white guys, right?
Yeah,
like,
and honestly, we don't even get an opinion because we're white. We have white privilege. You don't even get an opinion unless it's our opinion.
Yeah. So
you don't get an opinion unless it's ours.
Well, the thing is our perception is going to be different. The perception me and you have is going to be a little different than perception that an actual African American man or woman would have on this podcast. But at the same time, like that's not inherently a bad thing. And people think that everyone has to have the same exact opinions. Everyone has to have the same exact point of view, and that's how social media gets you. Is everyone shares and acts so wholesome, and everyone shares all these posts that are just shoving opinions down your throat instead of actually having discussions. Because it's so easier to just have confirmation bias and just push your side. And
I feel like a lot of like the anti-movement stuff is just like some kind of backlash to separate themselves from feeling like a robot. I mean, I'm saying that the wrong way because I'm not defending it, but I feel like it's just some sort of psychological defense thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like they fall into they don't want to be like everyone else, so they naturally try to pick like the opposite side and just defend it.
Yeah, and that's not good for them.
No.
But that's why it's not good to be so forceful.
Yeah, but
on some people, on some opinions.
Yeah, like what you were saying.
Especially when like they weren't even part of the problem.
Right.
And then you tell them they are.
Right.
People don't like that.
No,
so then it's not gonna make them join your side.
No.
Being a dick to someone does not make them want to join your side.
Exactly. And like that's what people don't understand is like this tribalistic feeling of like this is the side to go. This is right, you're wrong. This is right, you're wrong. In my opinion, right and wrong is so black and white. There's not always a right and there's not always a wrong.
They're very subjective.
Exactly.
They're like doesn't really exist.
It's like people saying, like you said, all lives matter. They're not wrong because all lives do matter. But
I do understand the Black Lives Matter thing because
the argument is that that white people are saying that Black Lives Matter is like taking away from white people, but that's
taking away
that's
what?
The counter argument is Black Lives Matter. It's like just because you're supporting Black Lives Matter doesn't mean you're anti-white.
No, not at all. Because
exactly.
all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter too.
Exactly.
You're like what as a white person, like what is being taken away from you?
Right.
Nothing.
Right. And,
There's
and
nothing being taken away.
Right. And the heart of the problem right now is ignorance. But
Mm.
the big problem with people who know what's going on is the judicial system. Our corrupt ass judicial system who's putting African Americans and people of color inside prisons while white people who commit the same crimes are being let go or getting a slap on the wrist. You
People
know,
people make money off of it.
right.
There's like private prisons.
Oh, that's so
who
fucked.
get
Private prisons, bro.
Private prisons. They get funded based on their prison population.
Right.
That's why we have the highest incarceration rate in the world.
It's so corrupt, bro.
You know, we're supposed to be the free country,
Mm-hmm.
but why would you have the highest incarceration rate in the world when you're not like China or whatever?
Yeah, that's why I wish I didn't have to pay taxes, because my tax money is just gonna go towards
I
funding prisons, which move to incarcerate people of color.
Yeah, so much of your tax money just gets burned and goes against like what you don't want it to, and just goes up to all these fucked up things, and like you don't have a choice in it. You don't have a say.
I think
It's your payment to society, like, but it's really not.
Yeah, what if we
It's counter to society. I mean, like
taxation theft?
It's not really like you're fixing our roads.
No, they're not. I mean, we live in Illinois. You know they don't fix our goddamn roads.
No, we get potholes that will fucking kill your car.
Yeah,
We get potholes that will fix your check engine light if you hit it. We get potholes that both fix and break your car.
Yeah, dude, and I think that there should just be some way that we could pick and choose, you know, where we want to donate or what we want to donate to.
Yeah, and then but that'd be bad because no one would pick for what the government wants it to go to.
Right.
Like who's gonna see like a check box, like say like you pick 5 things and there's like a whole list, like who's gonna pick private prisons?
Nobody. People would just pick roads and hospitals and schools like they should.
Or like politician salary raises and stuff like that. Like they're
Yeah.
no one's gonna pick that.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this. Pritzker, right before all this shit happened, raised him and his cabinet's salaries. I can't believe that the governor can raise his own salary along.
Yeah,
with
that's like
his
one of the
cabinet.
most corrupt things, one of the most corrupt powers they have.
Yeah, he raised taxes, raised his salary. Oh, free weed though. Not free, legal weed. Weed is hella, like, legal weed to buy in a dispensary is so expensive. It's ridiculous.
No one does it,
And people who do are like people who can't get it from other people.
I guess. It's like, from what I've heard, they track you anyway because they scan your driver's license, so then the cops know that you bought weed.
Really?
Yeah. They scan your driver's license.
They don't do that for alcohol.
They do, since it's still federally legal, I guess, somehow. That's the thing, like, they scan your driver's license and then it's attached to your license plate or whatever.
That's ridiculous. That's like I feel like once
It's just like Big Brother's still there, so like no one. Plus, like with all the taxes on it, I heard it's terrible. I forgot what the percentage was, so no one.
Yeah, it's like selling your soul to the devil, bro.
Yeah, if anything, you're promoting the illegal market for it, because now people think, well, now it's legal. So even if I do buy it legally, just having possession of it isn't illegal.
You do realize the 2 reasons marijuana is illegal is one is so they have an excuse to search people and incarcerate them.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excuse to throw, especially people of color, into prisons, but white people as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason is because hemp could be an extraordinarily beneficial product if we start using it. Hemp could be, it could replace plastic, and it's biodegradable. You know, papers. Has so many natural uses that we could use in our world, but the industries, it's something about hemp is it doesn't sell for as high as plastic it does.
I heard it just grows like crazy.
Yeah, it grows like fucking. You can grow it anywhere. It grows like crazy, and that's why there's so many people promoting hemp right now.
You can make clothes or
Yeah, fabrics, anything, and you know that
I just, it blows my mind we're not doing that. Oh, let's go pollute our
Yeah,
ocean.
but that's why like the Illinois system is so perfect for it, because like now everyone thinks it's legal, but the government's still against you on it.
What do you mean?
Like I said, like they still track you,
Right.
and it's still federally illegal. So like now, like you said, like they have those excuses to be against you,
Yeah.
while still being available.
Right.
So like the public is perceiving it as, oh, it's legal now, it's okay, but the government's still against you.
Yeah, the
Big
government.
picture.
They're just using you. They're making.
The government makes everyone look so stupid.
They do. At least they try to. They make They make the mass group, the mass people as a whole, look fucking stupid. The way they just. Here, man. Here's the new iPhone. Has a new tracker in it. Can track everything you're going and everything you say ever. But people still buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Eat it up. People love technology. People love innovation. You know. So like, you just have to hide really terrible things inside things that people will love, and they'll just buy it anyway. They'll spend money on things that spy on them, bro.
Well, most people are like, well, I'm not gonna do anything bad anyway. I mean, you're still giving up your rights. Like, how
Yeah.
far is too far? Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, you give up one right. Oh,
You might as well just. It's just like a domino effect.
exactly. And it's
That's one of the scariest things right now is like, with all the chaos going on in the world, and the media just spreading ignorance and fear and hatred. Not only where we're gonna go with this, but what you were saying of like, what's the end goal? How does the media benefit? How does innovation benefit
Yeah.
from this?
Or is just saying,
Is
like,
this
where do you think they're just gonna give up, or do you think they're just gonna keep becoming more progressively authoritarian? I mean, the National Guard is rolling out. The police are militarized.
I'd love to
I
see
mean,
how this
I've heard-
movie ends, man.
I've heard some bills being talked about where police aren't as militarized,
What do
so
you
that's a good end goal.
Yeah.
There's another bill someone proposed to Congress where it's gonna. It's called the Ending Qualified Immunity Act. I think that's from this. In the 60s, they passed this thing called the Qualified Immunity Act, where it just essentially gives police extra rights or special rights.
okay.
So like that's why they end up getting away with a lot of these things.
Okay.
So someone, I forgot what his name was, but he proposed a bill just to end that.
That'd be
'Cause
smart.
that
That's
is-
that's a
that
place to
is-
start.
yeah. And I shared it on Facebook. No one saw it.
See, but you put any real solutions out there, no one fucking cares.
Yeah,
It's burn it down, burn it fucking
until
down.
what? Like what is your goal then?
Yeah.
If
when
if
you burn
if
it
that's
down, there's nothing left.
if that's what you don't want, what do you want then? Like you act like that's what you want, but you don't
Yeah.
care.
Like the
It
The
is
actual
a great start.
I think a big start is to just say fuck you, the federal government, and take away half of their abilities and give it to the states. I think the states should be made have way more power than the federal government, because it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to fix things at a local level, or to fix schools, or fund education, or
Yeah.
fund
I mean, that's what the
equality at a
bill-
local level
that's
than it
what
is.
The Bill of Rights and Constitution is for.
Exactly.
It's to not give the government powers. It's to limit the government to those powers.
exactly, and we're the United States of America, and people
Yeah,
forget.
people realize
forget.
like we're 50 different governments.
Yeah, people don't vote
With-
locally though. Like, it's
with
just a
one-
thing, they don't.
There's like one over government, but everyone cares about the over government.
Mhm.
Like your state.
Because it's easy to conceptualize.
Yeah,
Like it's easier, and
in a way. to
and
think-
because people want that power of being in the over government. No one wants to go. Oh, I'm a state senator. Oh, I'm a state congressman. It's like, no, I want to be a fucking congressman. I want to be.
being a governor gets you a lot of power though,
Oh yeah.
as we've seen with Mr. Pritzker.
Yeah, Pritzcock is just such a
Glaring case of like why we need someone in office who is there to just have more than a paycheck.
even though he's already rich anyway.
Yeah. Why is he the governor? What's he doing here?
He's
I
barely
wanna
even
open
here.
10 more
They
Burger
caught him
Kings.
like last month. They caught him in Florida vacationing,
Yeah, during.
and then like I think it was like a week or two ago, they caught him in Wisconsin because like they backed down their lockdown,
Yeah, Hannah was up in Wisconsin.
and they saw him and his family with no mask on because he was in Wisconsin. But you're like, I can do this, and it's okay. But I'm gonna force my entire people. Like, there's people on the outside, like borderline, like we are, because we're only like 30 minutes away from Wisconsin, so it's not so bad for us. But like, think of people who are in like central Illinois. They're stuck. They're stuck in it.
Or even Chicago.
Yeah, even Chicago.
Because, like, I thought that they were going to close down, like, the whole state. I thought they were going to, like, put borders up and close everything down.
Yeah, thank God it didn't go that far.
No, thank God. But, like, you never know. It still might. Especially with everything going on right now.
I know,
you
it's
pushing it
Fucking
even farther.
it's terrifying.
And it's crazy to me that, you know, I think it's just crazy to me that some states are open, and then you got, like, LA, who's on lockdown for another 3 months.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Very crazy.
Yeah. Dude,
COVID isn't the narrative right now.
what? It's hard to me to keep track on the narrative because I deleted my Facebook.
Well, you know what it is right now. It's
Yeah.
protests, riots.
Burn the place down.
That's, yeah, it's terrifying.
Yep. Get rid of the fire, pour gasoline on it. Anyway, it's been an hour, so it's time for the album of the week.
Oh shit! What's the album of the week?
It's Turbowolf's self-titled.
Yeah, and it's exactly what I expected it to sound like. Like a band called Turbowolf. That's what a Turbowolf sounds like. Like if you imagine, what do you picture in your head when you hear Turbowolf?
Like a wolf with like a jetpack, with like the
Yeah, I think of like
the
a
shit
like,
coming out the jetpack, and he's got like a crazy grin on his face. He's like, I just ate a fucking rabbit.
yeah.
You know.
I think of like a cyborg wolf who is like jetpack and he's like his face is like half cyborg.
He's got a cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, he's a fucking Turbowolf.
That's basically what it sounds like.
It's like his soundtrack.
It's
Just
like Jetpack Joyride, but hardcore.
Yeah, and like it's, for me, it's really hard to talk about the songs because like I just listened to it at work,
Yeah.
so I didn't really get to like see what song was which.
Yeah, that's what
So
I did.
I just walked through, or listened through, and like I couldn't grasp it.
Yeah.
Nothing to like grasp on. Like I remember like a couple of riffs that I thought were kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked what's the song Bag of Bones. That was a
Yeah.
good one. And what's the second song? Something about the ancient saint or something like that.
Yeah, it's like it's like really wacky, but like that's exactly what I expect from a band called Turbowolf.
Yeah. Well,
Like it's like
you picked this album because they have that cover of Electric Feel.
Yeah. Royal Blood plugged them because like the singer Royal Blood, he was on their new album,
Oh yeah.
which came out like last year I think, and the song he did with them was pretty good. So I listened to that album. I think it came out last year. So that's how I found them, and then I found that like they did a cover of Electric Feel by MGMT, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Oh no, that's an
dude.
awesome cover.
That's fucking awesome.
It's
Like
great.
it's just like a stoner rock, slower version of Electric Feel. And like it just works so well.
Yeah. It's not how the rest of the album is though.
Yeah,
which is
so
really
it's, it came off their first album, so I'm like, okay, so like they got the energy, they got the grit. So I'm gonna check out this first album, and you know I waited off until I did it with you because you told me about album of the
Yeah.
week like a month and a half ago. It's just like, what? This is it?
Yeah. There were parts on it I was like, this is pretty groovy.
It
And
was
then
pretty cool. Like the intro was kind of cool, and I was like, okay, it's getting into it.
I think a lot of
But I
the
couldn't
songs,
grasp it.
Yeah, a lot of songs sound the same, and then
Yeah, cause like 2 or 3 times I was listening to it, and I'm like, this is a really long song. I'm like, wait, this is like 3 songs. This is like, I just checked 3 songs ago. I thought it was just the same song.
Yeah, and there's a shit ton of songs on the album.
Yeah, it's like 17 or 18 songs. So
They could have cut it down to like 10 easily. They could have cut a bunch of songs out of there, made them B-sides or something.
Yeah, it's, like I thought they just kind of like, I don't know if it was on purpose, but they just kind of like seemed to go into each other.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just all the same song. I'm like, damn, this is a really long song.
You know the old like MX versus ATV games.
Yeah.
And shit, like the old Pro Skater Tony Hawk games. Like I feel like that album would have a song like that song. One of those songs would be in like a soundtrack from those games.
Yeah, yeah. And the remakes for Tony Hawk's, like, get rid of Trapped. Fuck Trapped. Hashtag fuck Trapped.
Yeah, take out Trap.
Take out Traps, put in Turbowolf.
Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah,
That's
bro.
what I'm talking about.
Put in Electric Feel.
What was it that you sent to me about Trapped a couple days ago?
Fuck. It was some, like, weird MAGA thing. That's what their whole Twitter is. Oh, it was, like, anti-protester. It was really bad.
Does anyone like Trapped, bro?
Not anymore.
I don't think anyone did to begin with.
Mm,
Strong,
people-
take you on.
People like that song, I guess. Even though I never heard of that song before, but, like,
You've never heard that song?
ever since, like, you told me about it, like, I noticed people, like, bring them up. I'm like, it was just, like, this go past my brain, or is this, like, law of attraction?
They act like they're the fucking Beatles and they're Trapped, bro.
Do you imagine if, like, the Beatles had a Twitter? Like,
Ah.
like when they were still together?
It would have just been a bunch of like psychedelic art and like
Like,
acid trips.
it's like Paul is running it, and it was like, me and John just took 5 tabs.
Dude, yeah. Imagine if
In
there
the
was.
studio.
Imagine if there was social media back then, bro.
We in the studio. We just took 5 tabs. Shit's about to go breezy. We just made a song called Yellow Submarine.
Taking on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, going through the sky. I'm fucking high.
What was it? Little Einstein?
Little Einsteins.
Hell yeah, bro.
That was my show. That was my shit.
I was like 5. That was my shit, bro.
Since I just
That
brought
one,
it up,
Blue's Clues.
law of attraction, do you know what it is?
No.
It's like, it's like mind over matter. No, it's like visualizing and conceptualizing and bringing it to life, in a way. Where it's like,
What are you talking about?
I don't know, like something in your mind, and then like it appears in your real life.
Oh, so
The
like
law of
So
it's like
like
law of attraction.
witchcraft.
I guess it can be used in witchcraft, but like
I know what
like
you're
I was
saying,
talking about like
just
Trapped. I was
kidding.
talking about that song because like I never heard of it before, and I never even heard of Trapped before. But like after you told me about them, I keep hearing about Trapped from
Oh,
different
yeah.
sources.
I
so
think
I'm
that-
like, what the fuck?
Oh, I definitely know what you're saying now. Then.
So, like,
because I think
is
that's
that
real.
is that just a case of like you just totally ignored it your entire life, or like somehow you're mentally attracting that to you?
I don't know, man.
I think that. I
Like
think that,
if you think about like a certain type of car, and you go out driving, you're gonna see more of those cars.
Yeah, man. Like I experienced that a lot with like you said with Trapped with music, like, or a TV show. Like I'll start watching, like it happened a lot when I started watching Breaking Bad,
Mm-hmm.
because I never saw anything from Breaking Bad, and then I started watching Breaking Bad, and all of a sudden all I would see on Facebook and shit is stuff from like
Yeah.
it's like Breaking Bad memes, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and,
like,
like-
did I just like, totally ignore this, or like?
Yeah, did it just like not process in my brain, or like I don't know it.
So yeah, you said like witchcraft. I think if that is somehow metaphysically possible, maybe there's a way for it to like bring change in your own life. That's
a lot
why
of
people say like
believe in that stuff.
visualization, like if you want to do something, like the first step is to like visualize it. So like if you want to be like an athlete or something, that you can use like law of attraction to get there.
That's an interesting.
Like
theory.
you've been like interested in something and you want to go further with it. So in your life, it's like life gives you these steps to go towards that. Like so if you want to like start a band
Right.
and you're interested in a band, it's like life gives you these little stepping stones.
Yeah, like the mental stepping stones.
Yeah.
That's a really
Right, it's
interesting
like
way
it's
to
like
think about it.
how coincidental that this event happened to me that progresses me further into what I want to do.
Yeah, that's.
It's hard to explain. It's hard to give it.
No,
a
I,
good
I know what
example.
you're saying.
Mhm.
That's a really, because when you think about that, I feel like that plays into a lot of like the Eastern philosophy stuff I'm really into,
Mhm.
and I could definitely see what you mean, because I've experienced little bits of that throughout my life, of just, thinking about something or being introduced to something, and all of a sudden I see it more, I think about it more, it's in my life all of a sudden,
Mhm.
and I was never even aware of it.
Yeah, or like so like say you're interested in like band and you want like band equipment, and then it feels like you get more opportunities to like get access to like band equipment through like pure coincidence, where it's like some random person tells you like, hey, I got extra stuff, do you want it? And of course like you find like a guitar or like
Yeah.
some speakers or something. Like it just, I think that's part of law of attraction too.
Yeah, you just reminded me, bro. I ordered a bass for my birthday. I ordered it like May 15th or something, and it was like, yo, this is out of stock. It'll be in stock June 1st.
That's yesterday.
So I checked it yesterday, June
Not in stock.
1st, and it said in stock June 24th, and I'm like, no. So I think I'm gonna cancel it and then wait for Guitar Center to open up and just buy a bass from there.
Yeah. I wonder if Guitar Center is gonna get looted.
I hope not.
People just
But-
steal like drum machines and like.
All you gotta steal is
Pretty
a
cool.
couple guitars from the top fucking row, and
You
made
just gotta like
$1,000.
find their ladder. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would steal. I saw one where it was like Doge stealing Hello Kitty guitars. It's like the really muscular Doge, like that meme.
Yeah.
But he's like stealing Hello Kitty guitars. I'm like, yeah, that'd be me. I can imagine myself playing a Hello Kitty guitar just for the irony.
I saw a Hello Kitty guitar at Walmart for like $35, and I was so tempted to just buy it and then just play it in front of people, just to be like, yeah, I got a Hello Kitty guitar.
Maybe they're really good guitars.
There's a video of Zach Wilde. You know who that is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. There's a video of Zach Wilde, him just like jamming out on a Hello Kitty guitar. He's like, and he's just like, it's just this
fucking love
little
it.
tiny acoustic, and he's just like this. Because Zach Wilde's this huge fucking
Bro,
guy.
he's
with,
fucking
like,
ripped.
He's like this huge, ripped, muscular guy with long ass hair, and he's got like a leather jacket and a kilt on, and he's just sitting there with a little
He's like
pink
the
Hello Kitty guitar. And he's just like,
epitome of like thrash metal.
yeah, if you think thrash metal, Guitar Hero guitar player, that's Zach Wilde.
Yeah, you think of Zach Wilde.
I've seen him live, and he's really good, but it's just pentatonic scales, bro.
That does sound good, bro. Hey, that's a lot of your favorite bands. Tool.
Don't tell me that, bro. That's not my narrative. It's not what I want to hear.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm just
People act like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's literally just music.
I think the only scale I know a couple. The only scales I really know is the pentatonic. And
Learn
like
your scales, learn your modes.
I know
Learn your
I know
shit.
what the major and minor scales are, but if you were like, bro, here's your guitar. Be smart with it. I'll just do like a couple cool riffs. I'm way stronger on like the bass than I am on the guitar.
I play Smoke on the Water.
That's what. Hey man, don't
Hey,
diss
that's-
on Smoke on the Wall.
I'm
That's
not
the
dissing on
first
Smoke
song
on
I
the-
ever learned.
That's the first thing I ever learned.
You.
That is like for programmers, that's like the hello world of guitar playing.
Wait, Connor. What did people learn before Smoke on the Water? What was the first song to learn before Smoke on the Water, man?
Dude, I don't know.
It was probably some shit like Mary had a teapot.
Mary had a teapot.
Yeah. In a teapot, short and stout.
Mary had a teapot.
Wait.
That's like a just like a crossover.
Did
Mary
I
had
just
a little.
combine two different
Yeah,
nursery rhymes?
Yes, you did.
Shit.
I'm a little teapot.
I knew it was not Mary, bro.
had a little lamb.
I just combined two different
You have a dumbass word.
nursery rhymes, bro.
It's okay, it happens.
It's okay. It happens.
Is there like a? I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's like some metal band that just does nursery rhymes.
Oh, there probably is.
But my brain basically works. It basically is like if you have two tabs open in Internet Explorer is like two tabs open, and they're both YouTube, and they're both playing videos at the same exact
not
time.
YouTube. There's like a Vimeo or whatever that.
And one's like a news site playing a video, and it's just laggy as shit with ads everywhere. That's basically how my brain works. Of just like 3 videos and 3 tabs playing at the same time with ads everywhere. And I'm just like trying to fucking understand what's going on.
Can't close it.
Yeah.
And
You're trying to hit Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, every time you try to hit like
To exit out, it's just like Chrome is not responding.
Like you
Internet
hit
Explorer's
Control Alt
not
Delete, it just
responding.
does nothing.
yeah, bro.
What the fuck?
Dude, when I was a little asshole when I learned the Control Alt Delete trick. So I'd go up to people while they're on their computer and just go bloop and just fuck them up. Like I had night school, so like
Or like
everything was on
when you learn
computers.
Alt plus F4, and you're playing Minecraft, and they're like, how do I do this? Like you press Alt and F4, and it's like this player has exited the game. Like, you just got trolled.
I
Or
was
like
in-
you do it at school.
Yeah, I
Like,
was
people
in
that don't
night
know-
school, bro.
People that don't know anything about computers, it's like, it's okay, but of course you're gonna take advantage of them by saying like, bro, just hit Alt and F4, bro. It's cool. And it just like deletes all their shit and closes it. Like fuck.
You kind of feel like that was funny, and then 5 seconds later you're like, man, I'm a fucking asshole. Like I used to just go up to people because I was at night school. Like I would just go up to people and be like, boop, Control.
That's what I'm gonna call it. There's probably like some other term name that has been named by like top psychologists. I'm just gonna call it the jerk off effect because I keep bringing up that analogy.
The jerk off effect, kind
Yeah.
of Donaldson.
Yeah, because like it feels good in the moment, then you're like fuck. And of course like the dirtier it is, the meaner it is.
It's that post-nut clarity, man.
Yeah.
You should make
the dirtier-
the Connor principle, and it's the
I'd
jerk
rather
off
go.
effect.
Yeah.
And it's just like the Donaldson principle. There we go. The law of Donaldson's law. There we go, Donaldson's law.
Hell
It-
yeah.
and-
AKA the jerk off effect.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
basically the hypothesis that you get deeper and deeper into these things.
Yeah,
It's like
the
it's
hy-
pleasurable until afterwards you have that post-nut clarity.
Yeah, like the deeper you go into like the highest points of pleasure, are just gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah, because you're gonna
Immediately. It's just like a karmic
yeah, it's like
whatever.
a karmic whatever.
Karma. I don't know if karmic is a word, but
Karmic.
karma.
Do you believe in karma?
Hell yeah, I do.
I do too.
Like whatever good you do is gonna come back to you 3 times over, and whatever bad you do is gonna come back to you 3 times over.
See, I agree with that, but then you have assholes who run the world, and you have people who will put their shirts on other people's backs who get shot in the face in one night. So like, or get diagnosed with cancer or something.
That's true.
But I think that's more of a. It's not karma. That's not karma. It's more of like. I feel like if you do your job here on Earth, then
Yeah.
the universe is like, come home, Bobby.
Yeah, and like people are like, well, they're suffering. Well, if you really think about like suffering is subjective
Yeah.
too. Like suffering is just like whatever we put on it, and suffering sucks. But
Yeah, it's. I bet
nature
just
doesn't care. Nature doesn't care about your suffering.
Men play and God laughs. That's what I always say, bro. I always say that because I'll plan something, I'll be happy and excited for it, and then a tree comes and just destroys my life.
Right. Well, that's the test of your character. That is the ultimate test of your character.
For sure.
Just getting knocked on your ass. Or are you gonna get back up, or are you just gonna keep sitting on your ass?
That's the test of life, bro.
That is the test of life.
That is life's test. Like this little rock
And life
Joey got me.
inevitably is going to knock you on your ass. And I feel like the longer you go without it,
Put
the
this in
harder.
your hand. Continue what you're saying.
I feel enlightened. I feel like a cosmic energy is coming out of my third eye, connecting to this. Are those little eyeballs?
I don't know. Joey painted that and gave it to me when he came on the podcast.
How nice of them. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah, it is
I wanna
pretty
pin
cool.
a rock.
Shout out to Joey.
Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Nate Jackson, because like you have to say that every podcast.
Yeah, I forgot to say it last time.
You broke the chain.
He was on though.
Fleetwood Mac's gonna kill you. You broke the
I
chain.
forgot because he was already on.
What are you talking about? Caramel?
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I got attached
the
to that
power
rock.
of the rock just took over Connor.
I just went to heaven and back. Can I tell you guys about heaven? Actually, I can't. You guys gotta wait.
Oh yeah, it's secret, Connor. You're not allowed to tell us about heaven.
Yeah, or you have to do like a really deep meditation,
Yeah, dude.
or just pick up that rock, like I did. What are we talking about?
I'm talking about
Karma. Suffering.
Suffering, yeah. But I think that.
Oh, when you get knocked over,
Yeah, but
their test of your character is how you get back up, or if you get back up. But I feel like sometimes the longer you go without it, you just get caught in this ignorant bliss, and the harder it's gonna hit you because you're just not used to it. But then on the other side of the spectrum is people who get back up, but then they constantly have their guard up, and that's why they're really depressed or anxious, or they just always have their guard up.
Yeah, that's a really.
But
interesting
you
thought.
can't.
Like you're thinking like karma goes into like many different dimensions more than so. Like karma has many different aspects than more than just it brings you good or it brings you bad. More so like it tests your character. It brings you.
Yeah.
It brings you things that in your life that you might not want, but things you're gonna learn, things you're gonna grow from.
Yeah, karma doesn't have to be like metaphysical, some magic power. Like
Right.
it can literally be direct effects, causes and effects on your life.
Yeah, and it could be, like you said, causes effects. It could be, it could be cause effects.
If you say
from
something
things-
behind your friend's back
yeah,
and then comes back to you, well, I mean,
in cause and effects, it could be cause and effects of like what you've done, or things people around you have done, or it could be cause and effect of the environment you're in, or politics in your area, or world politics. Because, you could look at what's going on right now as karma for that fucking asshole police officer that killed George Floyd.
true. Or just like the fact stuff like that's been going on for a really long time.
Yeah, and it's all just coming. It's not just now coming around, because this has been a problem forever. So,
but yeah, it never really ended. Like, okay, like
No.
what day did racism end?
No, but
What you think, like the day the Civil Rights Act got passed, like racism just over?
I do think, however, that it's gotten worse. Like if you look back in
Is it worse or is it more projected?
No, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Because you look back in 2005, you had The Office was making offensive jokes all the time, or all those shows are making offensive jokes all the time. Fast forward 10 years later to 2015.
Family Guy doesn't make gay jokes anymore.
Yeah, you just fast forward where it's gotten to the point where everything's so sensitized and projected, and everything is about race now, and everything is about differences between us, and everything is about being defensive, and everything's about being right and being PC and being wholesome, when instead we should be able to laugh at ourselves, and we should be able to look at ourselves with this microscope of
absurdity.
Yeah, of absurdity. Like if you look at Tropic Thunder, they could never do Tropic Thunder again. Where you had Robert Downey Jr. literally playing he was playing a white guy who was playing a black guy.
If you zoom out and just think about how absurd life is, like everything might as well be funny. Like I'm not trying to hurt other people, but
right.
Life itself is just so absurd. Like you might as well just enjoy it for yourself.
Exactly.
Like we don't even know what comes after this.
No, and that's the great curse, though. But we spend
Or the great gift.
It's like you spend all your time here just being offended and being, so uptight about everything. You're wasting your time.
Yeah. It's almost better just to let that shit go.
This is what I think. If someone doesn't know me, I'm not gonna let myself get offended by them, because they don't fucking know me. They could say something on Facebook.
Yeah, they're
oh, you look like a girl. You're and you're stupid, and you're people like to call me a conservative because
all
I
that
shit
is
on
true,
everyone,
Jacob.
But
I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
I'm like, you don't know me. you don't know me at all. Like, me and you were having that conversation about artists on Facebook. Like, literally, that was the day I deleted it. Was where me and you were having that conversation in the comments about artists and, you know, paying for art and what should the price of art be, you know, determined on who the artist is and, you know, what the piece is. And me and you we were just having a discussion, and all of a sudden this person comes in, and I'm not going to say names, but this person comes in and starts calling me an asshole and says I'm trash and all that shit. And I'm like, you don't know me. I was having a conversation with my friend, and you're calling me trash.
Yeah. Like, at that point, that's the only thing that person knows about you. So, like, their brain is just going to automatically fill in all these blanks.
Right.
Just taken from that tidbit, taken from, like, their personal experiences and their personal beliefs and opinions on that subject. And they're like, of course, they're going to think you're an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's all they can draw from you.
Yeah, exactly. And
without talking to you. And we just made a giant loop because, like, this is a communication issue.
Yeah.
It's a great communication issue, like, and social media isn't helping because, like, to have, like, a real connection, like, you really need to talk to someone person to person. Like, you need to see their eyes, you need to see their face. Like, it's just so easy to just, like, go too far on social media, and then you just shut them down when you don't like it.
Exactly.
Like, when I'm talking to you, if I'm talking to you or anyone and I don't like what they say, most likely I'm not gonna say something that someone would say on social media.
Exactly.
Or at least not that easy.
Because you don't have to deal with the consequences on social media. You can just
if I say one thing, you say, like, the total opposite on Facebook, chances are someone's gonna call you a fucking idiot.
Right.
But is that person gonna call you a fucking idiot if they sat down, talk to you like we are right now?
Probably not.
And people don't treat other people that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is social media is just toxic.
Yeah.
People love to just talk and blat and talk on social media, but no one listens. No one ever just takes the time to listen on social media and listen to what other people are saying. It's just let me as quickly as I can type it out and explain how I feel because I'm right. And then the whole system of, like, likes is, it gives people this false sense of superiority because it's like mob mentality.
Yeah.
If you say something like, let's kill this guy, and it gets 5,000 likes, and then you have a comment under it like, no, chill.
Chances are, like, you, at that point, you have enough people on your Facebook that have the same mentality of you. So, like, if you get, like, if you have, like, a bunch of people who think the same way as you and they give you a bunch of likes, like, you're gonna think, like, yeah, I'm right, but, like, it's just confirmation bias.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is, like, I'm saying, like, specifically in, like, the comments. What'll happen is you'll go down in the comments and they'll be the top comments, you know, and they'll have the most likes.
Yeah.
And you know,
have the most, like, the highest confirmation bias.
Yeah, exactly. So you go and you check these top comments, and because they have so many likes as the comments and being top comments, like, subconsciously it's like, oh, they're right. Oh, so many people agree with this guy, they're right. But that's not how it is at all. It's just, you go down there and you see 5,000 likes. Oh, I'm just gonna add another one. 5,001. Woo! I'm supporting something.
You know what the funniest thing on Facebook is?
What?
The angry react. Like, besides the meme, remember when it was like a meme?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everything was, like, angry.
That was my profile picture for a little bit.
Angry. When sometimes people don't agree with you, and, like, they don't want to type it out and, like, provide a counter argument, they just angry react. Yeah, sure showed them. Got that bitch.
Nah, I just started using GIFs on people.
GIFs are underrated.
That's how I started. Like, there's one of just, like, this guy who's just, like, standing there and he's like, okay. And, like, that's just one I always send people. Just, like, a smiling guy who's like, okay.
GIFs are underrated.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I really wish that GIFs were on, like, Instagram and Snapchat and shit, but they're not. That's the one thing I miss about Facebook was the funny GIFs and the memes.
Yeah, bro.
But it's not worth it.
I have to always remind
It's-
myself that it's not fucking worth it for me.
It's not. You feel so out of the loop.
Yeah, I know. That's the
It's
problem.
the
Is
curse.
you feel so out of like you feel like everyone's like in this
When
loop
you're
and
in
everyone's
it, when you're in it, you're like, this is the dumb jerk off loop.
yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Like you
Or
go to
like
Reddit.
when you get off.
You ever been on the politics subreddit?
No, I
Don't
I
ever go
stay
on the
away.
politics
If I go on
subreddit.
Reddit, it's usually something non-political or like non-opinionated.
Yeah, if I go on Reddit, I'm like Googling how to find something or like an answer to something, and like there'll be like a Reddit forum
Yeah.
about it.
Or there's like cool pictures.
Pictures of a cat.
Yeah, cat pics.
Cat pics. And then there's like hentai girls and Chinese propaganda everywhere on Reddit. Just stay away from Reddit.
Reddit, yeah, Reddit's fucking
Like,
is a cesspool. The internet is just a big cesspool.
yeah, I
It's
feel.
such a great tool though.
Do you think people are gonna outgrow social media and the internet and shit, or do you think it's an endless loop that's
No,
gonna
because like
plague
new
us?
generations just keep going on it, and like they're. I don't know if that's something you can teach someone without them experiencing it. Because like, there's so many people that say like social media is toxic, get off of it, but like how many people listen?
Nobody. Like I
Yeah.
tell
I
everyone.
don't think it's something you can be taught without like going through that experience and then realizing it. But that can take years,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh, yeah,
you
I
look
was-
back and you're just like, wow, I really drained all that time in my life.
I was on
Fuck, I'm a lazy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
like,
on
I
Facebook
really
for 5
regret
years.
Calling my friend an idiot over not liking mac and cheese and posting about it. Yeah, but now we hate each other now. But fuck them for not liking mac and cheese.
Yeah, I was on Facebook. I got on in 2014, 7th grade. And
I'm just
I
there
was
for the
so-
memes, okay?
That's how I have been.
And I usually would just sit on the toilet and go on Facebook. But it
I'm
got
just-
to a point where I was wasting my day
Mm.
arguing with people who I didn't even know.
Yeah. I'm
And-
just there for the fucking memes, and then now everyone's there just being all opinionated. And, like, now you're expected to be opinionated.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're part of the problem. Like, but I'm just saying, like, if you just end up saying, like, the same thing that everyone else is, like, no one's gonna care. Like, you might get a little confirmation bias, but, like, once they get out, they're not gonna be like, wow, I'm gonna remember Connor Donaldson said something. What
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah.
Unless, like, it's one of those people that just talk about it
I
a
posted
lot, a lot.
Yeah, I posted like a little stuff because I do support the cause, so I posted a little bit of stuff, and then but
Yeah, I
to me,
support it
I
too.
just I don't like how the media and how people are reacting.
I
to
support it
this.
too, and, like, I would argue the most supportive things you could share are, like, what's being done in Congress to
Yeah.
change it, or how can you support. So, like, I shared that proposed bill, and I shared a list of, like, donation links that go to, like,
I did
people who
too.
are being, like, medics. No one cared. No one gave a fuck. What does that fucking tell you? You know, that, like,
You
this is
didn't
what,
post a
what-
black square,
This is-
Connor. You posted actual solutions. You didn't post a black square.
I didn't really. I should have taken the time to look into it, but I know they're calling it like Blackout Tuesday or something, but I'm not exactly sure what.
Yeah, the Instagram
I should've-
doesn't
should've-
exist right now. It's just black everywhere you go.
Yeah,
That's fine.
and people are like changing their Facebook profile pictures just blank, but like
Okay.
I'm not against it. Like I just never took the time to like look into it, what it was.
Yeah. My whole opinion on it is just like
Do you know what it is? Can you explain to me?
what?
Like what is the purpose of the Blackout Tuesday?
No, I don't. I really don't know. I
Alright.
saw it today and I was like, Hannah, why is there so many black shit? She's like, it's for Blackout Tuesday. And I went,
Like what does that mean though?
Okay. Like I just don't.
Like I'm not
It's just-
denying its effectiveness, but like I need to I need to know like what
It's
it means.
I think it's supposed to be for like.
Is it just symbolic? Is
I
it
think it's. I think I saw a post that was someone saying that it's meant for people who aren't black to like not say anything on Instagram and to let all the people who are supposed to have a voice have a voice.
Oh, okay.
But like all I see is people posting black squares, so like there's no
Like-
voice, there's no.
I don't want to go on Instagram for this. I want to look at booty pics.
I just think that it's
Just
like.
kidding. I don't like Instagram models. They're gross.
Yeah, for real. I think that that people just don't have their own opinions anymore. They're not really allowed to. And not only that, but people don't know how to form their own opinions. So like
Yeah,
they
it's
just
really
go,
dangerous.
They look at
It's-
everyone else's opinions.
Yeah,
and they
like
base their
it's
opinions
okay
off
if
those.
everyone. I think it's okay to everyone support a cause like this, but then it's almost teaching them to like not form their own opinion,
Right.
and that's scary.
I think what a lot of people do is they
They're
just
just
look
gonna
at
hide
other
mine.
people's opinions and then they base their opinion off of other people's opinions.
Yeah,
More
like
so
you
than
want to.
just
You don't want to.
curating
You
their
don't want to go
opinion.
against your friends.
No.
No one wants to. I don't want to go against my friends.
No, and I think a
I
lot
like
of it
making
is
my friends
people
mad at
share
me.
people share that stuff because they don't want people to think that they're, a racist or whatever. And I think I've met very few actual racists.
I don't know any racists.
I know a couple and everyone hates them. So like it's one of those things where it's a big problem in America because we're at such like a big scale. But if we were to challenge it locally and more focus on our local communities more so than cities across the fucking country, we need to focus on our local communities, building up our local businesses, which is the main problem right now is because we're destroying our local communities. We're destroying these local businesses. There was a guy, I'm pretty sure it was in Pittsburgh, who was like a homeless veteran and finally got his own business started. And he had to, like, it was open for like a month and then he had to shut it down because of COVID. And he's just now getting ready to open it back up again, and it got fucking looted and raided.
Oh, you mean the guy that got like $250,000 on GoFundMe because of it?
Well, okay, yeah, you got a ton of money out of it, but like, do you not think that's a little traumatic? Do you think he wants to set up his business again?
Yeah.
He's just not gonna think like, okay, he might be set for life, but like maybe he felt his purpose was to have that business, to have a part,
Exactly.
but now he's probably not even gonna do it again, or he's gonna take it somewhere else.
Exactly.
So that's just hurting the Pittsburgh community or wherever they're from.
Yeah, and we have these celebrities that are sitting around right now just saying, like, supporting this violence and supporting all this, and while they sit in their fucking mansions, not
Because they
doing
don't have to
anything.
deal with
Yeah,
they don't have
and-
to deal with it. Like, everyone's not gonna care until it's in their own neighborhood.
Exactly.
I mean, like the Walgreens. There's a Walgreens really close to where I live, and there's a pizza place, and they both got hit the other night. People broke into them, and like, wow, that's really close to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really scary. Like
Yeah, and like,
it affects me because like now, part of human nature is like fear for your own life and your own community. It'd be like national. It would be like global to national to like local community to your family to yourself.
okay.
Or yourself and your family.
Yes.
Because some people, I think most people would put themselves in front of their family,
Okay.
or put their family in front of them. Sorry.
Right. Or the people you love.
So like, people are genuinely upset about George Floyd dying, but then like, when there's danger present in their own neighborhoods, they're most likely going to be more concerned about themselves and their family's safety than they are about George Floyd dying.
Yeah,
But like, that's
I
not to
definitely
say, like,
agree with you.
people shouldn't be
Oh yeah, for sure.
like I am, but like, if
Yeah,
if there was danger present, like that's going to be the least of my concern.
Right.
So it is taken away from the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it just blows my mind that people still think that you can pour gasoline on a fire to make it go
Mhm.
out. Because like,
I feel like a lot of those people are just taking advantage too. They're
well,
just
the people who actually care aren't the people looting.
yeah, it's like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
And-
Let's jump on this fucking train.
And for people that don't realize what the problem is with looting, is you're playing into the opposition's narrative. You're playing into
Yeah, you really are, but then
because you're letting them put videos and pictures up of you looking like an idiot. You're letting them post all over social media and all over the news. Look at all these thugs who are looting stores and killing people and murdering cops, and you're
like, oh fuck, that's fucked up. I'm
The-
gonna vote for Trump now.
exactly. So the way to
So-
go is to just
if
It's
the
like good
cops
job. You just
and they're
played into your own
and
demise.
because I got in an argument, my first social media argument in a while, and I'm not gonna say names. They were like, the cops are coming at us first. We were peaceful protesting, and then they started it. But the thing is then let them start it. Let them fucking That's
yeah,
what,
if like,
be fucking peaceful.
are you gonna be the better man?
Exactly.
Because like,
Because if there's videos everywhere of just the cops beating shit out of people who are doing fucking nothing, then they have no narrative.
yeah,
They have no. They have nothing.
They
have
can't
nothing.
twist that.
They can't twist it. They will always be in the wrong if you stay peaceful, and that's what Gandhi did, and
That's
that's
exactly
how
what Gandhi did.
That's how India won their freedom, bro. So
Exactly.
like it's
Like,
something
yeah.
that it's been historically proven time and time again that violence, while in spite of bringing temporary short victories, in the long run it doesn't solve anything but it creates more ignorance, it creates more fighting between each other, more tribalistic behavior.
But after Martin Luther King died, there was riots for the city for 8 days, and then the Civil Rights Act passed.
Yeah.
But like, okay, but like now there's more bills and acts being proposed, and like now you're ignoring that. Like you're acting like that's not like a part of
Right.
our society.
Right.
It's just like I don't think people even like realize how our government works.
No, nobody does. Most people don't even realize that there's people. I talk to people; they think that the government is just one big organization. They're like, there's so many different
It just
departments
happens.
and departments.
It just happens, bro. It's just the president. It's just Trump. Trump does everything.
Like, if you go up to a random person
Duh.
on the street and go, "Yo,
Stupid.
what are the branches of government?" I bet you they
Everything.
don't know.
Everything's Trump's fault. Even the things you had no control over.
Like I'm not defending Trump again, but like people are just quick to point the finger at him.
Yeah. Did you see that? What's his name? George Floyd's brother was posting on social media that
Yeah.
that the violence isn't gonna bring back his brother, and that they're not doing it for him. They're doing it for their own selfish reasons.
Yeah, and
That's
then people
that's from the
they'll
man's
shut,
brother himself.
Yeah,
That's from the man's family himself.
they'll shut that down and be like,
Well, we're doing this anyway, cause
Yeah, like.
we don't want to hear from you. Like,
And
do you want? Think about it. Like, would you want like anything to burn in your name or be looted in your name?
right. No, I would hate that.
Dude, I said earlier, I hate Target. Target's pretentious.
So
But-
you want to
but-
loot Target in the name of Connor?
No, I don't want that to happen. Could you imagine?
It'd be terrible.
everybody, let's just fucking destroy Target in the name of Connor. Let's avenge.
I'd be like, guys, chill.
No.
I need that guy that stole a Lego set. That would be me.
Well, like I
Legos
said,
are expensive, man.
like I said when the first podcast first started, that everything is perception, and you have to understand other perceptions to be able to come through things.
Yeah, even if you
can't
don't agree,
battle
even
them.
if you like entirely disagree, like
So-
you have to understand like people come
so-
from different backgrounds, people have
Exactly.
different life experiences.
So I'm trying to use that perception on people who agree with these riots, people who agree with these things, and riots are the language of the unheard.
Yeah.
People feel like they need these riots because their peaceful protests aren't working, but they don't realize that you don't win a peaceful protest. You don't have a peaceful protest and the next day there's change.
Mhm.
That's not how it works.
Exactly.
It's
It takes time, and sometimes it may take a long time. But
And that's
like
why
you're
people
saying,
blow things up. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna blow up this plane."
but you're
because
saying in the
change
like
tomorrow.
the way of Gandhi, like he did like hunger strikes and stuff, but like there was no fighting back.
No.
Like they still oppressed him, but like they couldn't make a narrative to make him look like the bad guy.
And and over time, the whole world eventually saw that India, which was being run by the British at the time, they were like, "Dogs, what are you doing?" So, the British backed off, and that should be a lesson to everyone during these times, that civil disobedience, being peaceful, being loving, is being compassionate is always gonna win over being violent.
I think the scary fact is like
I love all
a
my
lot
brothers
of
and sisters, the humans.
I think the scary fact is like a lot of the backlash is just going to be more of the problem, more authoritarianism.
Right. Yeah, and
But I
Yeah.
mean, do you really think like these demilitarization of police bills are going to get passed?
I hope so.
I sure hope
They
so.
need someone's got to start putting those up on like change.org or something, because I would
No,
sign
you
that.
gotta sign Justice for George Floyd. You gotta sign that one
Even though
because
that
like
one has no solutions.
yeah, like what is the solution here? Like what are we changing
Yeah, for real. It's crazy. It's been 2 hours.
already?
Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna cut it off.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Nate's was like 3, wasn't it?
It was like,
Damn, you hate me, bro.
no, we can keep going, man. I just. how
No,
long-
it's up to you.
oh,
It's your podcast.
Wait,
I'll
we
be
can
back
go
on.
a little longer. The thing is like, the long ass videos are hard for me to post
Oh,
because like, see, like if we go see that, but the camera's already dead right now.
yeah, you need a better camera.
I know. That's why I said everyone should donate to this podcast. If you have an ad, if you have a business and you want to sponsor, if you want to be like a sponsor on this.
Yeah, we'll put like some advertisement right here.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, your dick pills or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Gas station dick pills.
$10. You just gotta give me $10.
Yeah, literally sponsor us $10. Like I'm sure you guys have $10 in your advertising department.
Yeah, and this.
And a couple sandwiches.
this
and maybe
podcast
a couple free dick pills, and then we can
Yeah.
review them.
Yeah.
And then if you pay us like $5 more, we'll just bias it. You know, we'll be like, yeah, these are great. Be like, my girl loved this, and
Yeah,
so did his.
Make an ad and I'll play it. Like
Yeah, bro.
it has to be a funny
We have to
ad.
make a jingle.
Jingles.
It's like,
Sponsor jingles.
buy our gas station dick pills today.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor, email me at inthebasementpodcast900 or leave a comment or message me.
Yeah,
You guys
I'm
know
done.
who I am. I got like, this podcast,
Hella
it's
publicity.
it's growing slowly, getting people
Yeah, how
on
many
board
views
slowly.
you got now? How many views is your most viewed video?
It's yours actually is the
But
other
how many
one.
views is like 180?
172 is yours. Nate's is literally just at 90. It's like 98 right now. It's about to break 100. Joey's just got up to 60s. Tyler's
How
is
did
in
mine
the
get to
80s.
be the most popular?
Because people love you, man. You're the Duncan Trussell to my Joe Rogan.
I hope to be. That's all I aspire to be.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I just feel like me and you are able to have these fluid conversations that it's hard to find anywhere, because nobody's having these conversations. They're yelling at each other on social media or
Yeah.
getting 10-second clips from the news or reading headlines.
Yeah.
Having these actual
It'd
sit
be
down
nice
conversations.
if you could just say to these people like, hey, let's meet up and have a conversation. Like this is
For-
what this podcast is. Like this is like I asked to come on or you invite me to come on. Like you're essentially just inviting me to sit down and have a conversation with you.
Exactly.
But-
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, but now like hanging out with friends, that just doesn't happen most of the time.
No.
Just kind of sad. Like you're, and it should be, especially if like you're hanging out with someone you're not really sure what to do.
Mhm.
You're like, well, there's nothing to do in town tonight. Just talk.
Yeah, it feels good to like just be able to get, just formulate all my opinions and everything that's going on in my mind and just talk about it and get, because really what I'm doing
Yeah.
during this podcast is getting my thoughts straight. I'm sitting down with someone and
Yeah.
we're getting our thoughts straight.
Yeah. Have you ever tried journaling?
Yeah, of course, man. I'm a
I
writer.
love journaling, dude. Just like I need to do it more. I need to work on it. It's a habit. It's a hard habit to get
Just
into.
get a notebook and just
Yeah,
do it every night
yeah.
before you go to bed.
Yeah, just write about your day. Just like I woke up at 7:30 this morning. I made breakfast. I just like you talk about that, but then like somehow your thoughts just keep going and going, and then it gets deeper and really reflective inside of yourself. And at the end, you just feel refreshed. Like you feel lighter.
Exactly.
Your head feels lighter because like you've taken all this stuff going inside your head and like you made it physical, so it's always there.
Right.
You're not gonna lose that as long as you keep it safe.
Mm-hmm. That's
And no one needs to know but you. I mean,
And you
and
really
like
what
you
happens-
look back a year later, and then you can see how much you've changed.
Yeah, and the improvements
And
in
the
your
way-
thoughts and
yeah.
constructing your sentences.
Yeah, and like you read it,
and it's like you're teleported back to that time where like that's where your mindset was. It's like you completely understand yourself again a year ago. It's crazy. It's just like
It's a really great tool, but
people are so dynamic.
Nobody does this shit anymore. Barely anyone reads anymore. Barely anyone journals. Because actually, what I kind of wanted to talk about this before the podcast ended was I'm writing a book about how shitty public schools are.
Yeah, fuck the schools, bro.
And you know,
I hated school. A lot of people assume that like I was like a AB student. Hell no. Like I didn't give a fuck about school. People
right.
and like teachers would like act concerned, but they would like tell me like Connor, like we know you're smart. Why aren't you doing shit? And I was like, just like why? What is the grand purpose of this?
Schools are brain numbing, and
Yeah.
there's just literally I don't think, and this plays into what we've been talking about, what's going on, and I don't think I've ever had a school teacher ever be anything but white. I've never had anyone other than a white person be my teacher, ever, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's a white middle-aged woman. And no offense to middle-aged white women, right?
Full offense.
Yeah, full offense to
Yeah.
middle. Just kidding.
Yeah.
You're not getting that big experience of learning from different people, or you're just learning. Like I have a mom at home. Okay, I don't need a mom, 10 different moms at school. But at the same time,
But they barely even act like your mom.
yeah, but
They don't give a
no.
fuck about you.
Okay, it goes one of two ways with those teachers.
Okay,
It's either
that's implying every mom.
It's either you better do every piece of goddamn homework I give you, or you're gonna get a goddamn F, boy. or it's I don't fucking care, and has a flask under their fucking shirt, under their
desk or whatever,
cardigan.
in their water bottle.
Like if I was a librarian,
their
no, I'd just
coffee
be
cup.
drunk all day. But like, what I'm saying, like, the teachers are just like they're just soulless. They can't even because when
I would be soulless too if I was a teacher,
what
though.
teaching was. Who keeps going in and out fucking side? Anyway, what is with everyone being loud during this podcast? Anyway, Reese. Anyway, you gotta learn, because learning through ever was always like you're learning experiences, you're learning other people's wisdoms, other people's experiences that they've taken from their own life. And, you know, they're giving you this wisdom, they're giving this experience, and you're learning from it and growing on it your own, with your own experience. But how we've just dumbed that down somehow with public schools is we're just gonna write a bunch of standardized shit, and every single person and every single teacher has to teach it the same exact way.
It's easier and it's cheaper.
And every student has to take the same exact test, and every student has
to learn
that's
the
not
same
how you
subjects.
learn. It's not how you learn. It's not how you teach. That is such an artificial bullshit excuse of being like, oh, I'm 18 now, I graduated that, so I'm automatically labeled as smart. Yeah. And it's just such a, you know, like people that graduate, like, great job. You know, I didn't get to graduate, but
well, I mean that's another problem with the school system because like you really got fucked over.
yeah, I put in more work than a lot of kids who do graduate.
Yeah, and you're one of the smartest people I know.
And
but
it's I don't know. It's just, in my opinion, you don't have to go to. And I'm talking about mainly public high schools here, like public elementary, public middle, junior high schools, and high schools. I really want to start taking the fight to these things because what happens is you get out of it, you know, you graduate, and you go on into the real world, and you just fucking forget about it. And you're like, oh, I graduated, I'm done with it. If I could do it, other kids can do it. You know what I mean?
What you remember is like the school just pounding inside your thick skull.
Yeah.
College. What college are you going to? What are you gonna major in? College. Give us money.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
yeah,
But
so like,
the funny
what do you
thing is-
do? Like that's what's in your head, and like you feel obligated to like come up with this idea of like how you're gonna spend the rest of your life. So you gotta like pick a career, pick a subject to excel in. And for some people, that's great because like they're really passionate about something.
Right. But
like some people are just like, they don't like our brains aren't even fucking developed yet. Your brain isn't fully developed until your early 20s. So like you're asking,
why you keep coming in and out of the house?
damn.
God damn,
damn, bro.
It's like all I can hear in my headphones is just the fucking door swinging and
Oh, really?
fucking closing. It's
It
fucking
it's
annoying.
not that loud to me, but I guess the mic's picking up.
It's fucking annoying. What were you saying?
Anyway, what was I saying? Something about college, that some people are passionate about it. Oh, okay. Our brains aren't even fully developed yet, but like, you're forcing into these kids' minds that are 16 to 18 years old. They're just kids. You're like, what are you gonna do for the rest of your life?
Right.
What college are you gonna go into and go in debt to?
Right.
Like, isn't that just?
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah,
to
and
think
the
about
most
it.
fucked up thing about
It's
it
a scam.
Exactly, and the most fucked up thing about it is that these high schools, specifically Harlem, I'm talking about here, just pushes not their academics, their sports programs, right?
Yeah.
And they're constantly going, go to college, but they don't put any funding into the actual academics of their school to push you towards college or to push you towards learning, wanting to go to college. All they push you towards is,
you
know,
get
you go to
football scholarships.
Yeah, you're a football player,
Yeah.
or you're a pizza man, and like.
Yeah, imagine like the scholarships. Imagine like if like science programs that like would make like the science things more interesting and more open to people and more inclusive who like really can't. I don't really know how like science programs work, but I assume like there's some people's like own money has to go into it. Like it's not all paid for by the school.
Okay.
But imagine like if like sports weren't as big as a part of the school budget, so like more people could afford more science, or the school could afford like more advanced like science programs or programming courses or welding courses.
Right.
So people are more drawn to them.
Yeah. And like, yeah, they don't put any funding, they don't put any creativity or any time in any of those programs. They just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself, bro. I'm really fucking mad.
Yeah.
This will be a funny montage of the fucking podcast.
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird ass montage where it just like randomly cuts.
Oh, God.
You gotta explain.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You gotta like a little disclaimer at the beginning, like yeah.
They dropped a bottle of mayonnaise.
Of course.
Like a glass fucking can of it. God damn. Having the talk of the century here, and fucking people are dropping mayonnaise. Ah, check.
Chick.
Alright. We're back for like what, the fourth time now? It should be a somewhat interesting montage.
Yeah, you might have to like explain that at the beginning or something.
Like, my house is just loud as fuck today for some reason. Everyone's just running around dropping bottles of mayonnaise and shit.
Know what's loud? Know what's the loudest? Your silence. Your silence is loud AF, Jacob. AF.
You're just ripping into fucking Facebook
just
posters
like-
today.
I just like making fun of it. And maybe it's a little too sensitive to make fun of. I hope I don't get crucified.
I don't think you will. By like the 25 people that are watching this? Just kidding.
Well, you said the last one got
Yeah,
like
dude.
170.
He's actually getting pretty. And the interesting thing about the podcast is like the retention is actually pretty good on all my podcasts.
That's good.
Like the average
Yeah.
retention.
I hope I didn't come across as any offensive way that I did not intend.
Yeah, same.
Like, this is a podcast. Like, this is not like a talk show.
Right.
Like, we're just talking shit most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's meant to be taken serious. Like, this isn't like a news
Well,
or
it's
a talk show.
it's not meant to be taken like too seriously, but it's always good to take it like.
It's like a thought-provoking experience.
Yeah. More of like, even if you don't agree with what we're saying all the
Yeah.
time, like you can just.
It's supposed to be like thought-provoking and maybe even a guide to like to think for yourself, to be open to new thoughts.
Right, and I think
That's why I like podcasts, because like I think it's just so
Yeah.
thought-provoking that like I don't always agree,
with like what's being said, but like it's
Mhm.
just that's really interesting to think about from that perspective.
Exactly. But I think, podcasts have been, like, getting a little more popular lately.
Yeah.
But, like,
Sure, Joe Rogan.
yeah, Pat McAfee's getting pretty big. But I just don't think it's ever going to take hold as much as I'd want it to.
Podcast?
Yeah. I just, people just don't have the attention span. They just, like, and a lot of people do. That's why they're big.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about generally, people would rather watch the news because they get quick fear and quick.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they
Or
keep growing so people can like learn how to. Because it's kind of a skill at this point to have
Right.
that attention span.
It is.
It's a skill. People don't realize it's a skill, and it's just like something you have to practice. And practicing it is not easy.
Oh,
Like
definitely not.
like even like the art of like conversation, like it's not easy to practice. But like having our first podcast together a few weeks ago, that was really good practice for me because I feel like this one's going a lot more smoothly.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm gonna watch it and be like, oh wow, I really fucked up a lot. Because I thought the first one went pretty smoothly, and I listened to it, I'm like, oh wow,
Well, that's just. I think
I
that's you just
said-
being self-conscious too.
maybe.
Because that one has the most likes, has the most views.
Maybe. I feel like this one, since I listened to my own podcast with the intent of how can I make the next one better, I feel like this one did turn out better.
Yeah. I think this
and
one.
maybe the next one's going to turn out even better. It's just a skill that I have to keep building up.
Yeah, that's how it is for the podcast in general, though. Like, if
That's
you,
true.
Like, if you watched my first podcast I did with Miles, I was just like, all right, I guess we're gonna do a fucking podcast. I don't know what I'm doing, but this is the 7th one. I think slowly I've started to like learn how to do it more, learn how to articulate myself more, learn how to listen more.
You ever going to try to do like a really long one? Like a 3 or 4 hour long one?
Yeah, but that's probably when I'm gonna bring more than just one person on. Like have 2 or 3 people on.
Are you going to do like any like spin-off ones? Like you know how like Joe Rogan does like Fight Companion?
Oh yeah. I was thinking about doing a game cast in the basement game cast where
That'd be
like
cool.
say we get like 4 of us and we all just sitting on the couch here and like I have a TV right there and I just record off the TV like and then put in the corner all our faces or whatever and
That'd be
we
cool.
could all play games together.
Find some fucking
Mario
couch co-op,
Party or
games.
something. Yeah, like
which is harder and harder to do. Or just like bring old games. Just
That's
bring
what
us
I'm
some
saying.
PS2 games.
yeah, we could play like you could play like some Nintendo 64 James Bond games and shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like that's what
Or
I was
Smash Bros.
that's what I was thinking about doing is game cast because I love gaming. My friends like gaming.
I hope with like the next generation of consoles, they're gonna be powerful enough for like the graphics are gonna be good, and all of them, but there's gonna be leftover oomph for having 2 players at a time.
Oh,
So maybe that's the only like problem I can think of. Like now games are so focused on the graphics, it's where like if you play with 2 players, like it can't handle all the graphics at once.
Mhm.
So hopefully with the next generation, there will be enough oomph.
There needs
be
to
enough
be.
power.
I'm willing to sacrifice.
It will sell
graphics
games
though for that. I'm
Yeah,
willing to
like-
sacrifice graphics for 2-player co-op.
for sure. For sure.
And I'm not talking about just multiplayer. I'm talking about LAN, split screen, co-op. Like
Yeah, like split screen games are what I grew up on.
exactly. There's what's the fun just sitting here playing a game by yourself while your friends there watching you? Like
That is kind of fun though.
it's fun.
That is kind of fun, but like there's
It's not-
games where you want it
It's
to
not
be
the
like
same.
yeah. There's games where you like want it to be split screen.
And there's games they totally could have made split screen.
Like
that
remember
aren't.
when like World at War, like the campaign was split screen?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was fucking awesome. But they won't do that again. Like I don't even play Call of Duty anymore.
I don't either. Well, I play.
I would play one if like they did like campaign split screen again.
The only Call of Duty I really play anymore is, even though I don't, is Black Ops 3. But that's just because they have like basically all the old zombie maps that I just bought on it.
Hey, World War II is free on PSN.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn, that's the game they picked.
get it. It's
I already
actually-
have it.
You already have it? Well, I downloaded it. Would you play it?
Yeah, I'd
Wanna
play
play
it. The zombies is kind of. I really liked it at first, and now I'm like.
I never played
it's
it.
like really overly complicated. in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I didn't never played it until like the other day. I was surprised that like it was actually kind of scary.
Oh no,
There's,
the
like-
zombies in that game are
They're
terrifying.
fucking terrifying. They'll jump off the roof right behind you and they'll jump scare you. Like fuck.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about that zombies is that not only are the servers ass if you try to play them with other people, but like I feel like they're just way too complicated. I have to watch like an hour-long
Yeah.
tutorial on YouTube to understand how to do anything.
Yeah, you're just like overwhelmed by like this like loadout thing. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I just want to play like the old style where you just start off with the pistol.
Exactly.
Everyone starts off on the same level.
Yeah, you start out
And
with
then the great divide starts. Are you Olympia or M14?
exactly,
That's the great divide.
and then the fucking
M14 gang. Rise up.
M14 gang, yep. And but the
Actually,
thing is with
sometimes
the
it
shitty zombie now is that, especially with Black Ops 3, the one I play, is that the opening wall guns are fucking garbage. Like they're just trash.
There was just like something iconic about choosing between the Olympia and the
Well,
M14.
Yeah, World at War to like Black Ops 2 was like the golden age of Call of Duty. World at War, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops,
Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then the Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and then
Well, 3.
World at War.
3 was kind of eh.
I liked Modern Warfare 3 because it had it had really good
Oh, yeah.
special ops, like you
Yeah,
could play
and-
survival and like
Yeah, that was split
the
screen
missions
too.
and shit. Yeah.
I liked the missions.
The only problem with Modern Warfare 3, I thought there was a lot of hackers.
And then Ghost came out.
And
And then Advanced Warfare came out. And then what was the one where they go to space?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite
That-
Warfare came out.
That is like the stretch of terrible Call of Duty games.
You're like, what the fuck? Are they on crack?
Okay, but Ghost, the thing about Ghost is it's so unique that it actually had some decent content in it. The
Ghost was
alien
really
mode-
fun because like I forgot what's the gun called? The Honey Badger.
That's my
There's-
favorite Call of Duty
There's
gun
something
of all
so
time.
satisfying about the Honey Badger
I
that
know.
it just makes that game so worth it.
I know. The whole the only reason that game is any good is because the fucking honey badger, dude. Like getting kills with the honey badger is the most satisfying feeling
the
ever.
silencer is just like the sound of it is so nice to hear.
And like
And then you get like the hits, like the
yeah,
like the sound of that together is just like ASMR to me.
yeah, and the gun is like it's just like sexy. It's just like a sexy gun.
It's like fuck, I want one of those.
I know. I wish I
want-
could just run
I want
around with a
5.
fucking honey badger. But
Hey, careful what you say.
yeah,
Don't say that, man.
the other good thing about that game, Ghost, was the campaign was good. It was just really short.
The
But
campaign was pretty fun.
The zombie, they didn't have
Aliens.
They were like, we're gonna make aliens, bro, and it was,
It was weird.
it was okay. It was, they tried. At least they tried something new. It
Yeah.
wasn't let's make zombies for the fucking 50th time.
Yeah.
They tried
was like-
something new.
With zombies, like, do you think it would have got boring if they would have just kept it simple, or do you think it was right of them to like get more complicated? I liked it when like there was a point where like when it got more complicated, it was more fun because like if you look at like the very first map from like World at War,
Like knocked, yeah.
yeah, like it's just really small and kind of boring. There's not really a lot going on.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But like that was the very first step. But then the next one was like Verrucht, where it's like the map was a little bit bigger. There was like I think, was there power to that one?
Yeah, there's power, but there was no pack a punch. Verrucht was the first one to have perks like Joe.
Oh yeah, they had a perk. So like they progressed, and like Derice was like
First one to have pack a punch. was
yeah,
Derice.
that was such a
See, like, but
that was such a good game.
but I agree with you to agree because like you look at Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were a little more complicated. Like you had Shangri-La and Mob of the Dead and Origins and all those maps that were really good,
Mhm.
but they were a little more complicated.
Yeah,
But then you got
Ascension.
into Black Ops 3 where it was like
Where
way too
where
fucking
am I?
complicated.
What is this thing?
Yeah, it was just like a turn off unless you're like
Yeah.
12 and you have all the time in the world to watch hours of YouTube.
Yeah,
on it.
and like your ADD is just starting, so it's just your ADD is at its peak.
Yeah, man.
You're just on crack.
Dude, I was a little crazy 12-year-old about Call of Duty.
Hey,
I'd stay up all weekend doing double XP weekends
Yeah.
on Nuketown 2025.
not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Everyone was part of it. I was part of it. A lot of people were part of it. But I mean,
I miss those years, man. Like 2013 to 2016.
nothing to worry about back then.
Yeah, 2013 to like 2016 were like great fucking years.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why.
I mean, the present can be just as great, but like now it feels like society's just kicking us on our ass and like, what did
Yeah.
we do to deserve this?
Yeah,
What
it
did
just-
me or you do
Yeah, it
as
feels like everything-
individuals?
Yeah, I know, right? It just feels like everything's like run its cycle or something, and it's like, well, what the
Hopefully
fuck do
it's
we
just
do
like
now?
hopefully it's just like a phase where it's like the great cosmic gods are like, okay guys, you've had it a little too good for too long, so we're gonna steer left a little bit, and like we're just gonna ease into it, and then you're just gonna get through it, okay? But this is for the greater good, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then everything's gonna be 2016 again, and then we're gonna take it for granted, or not. Maybe that is the purpose of the shitty things going on right now, because like now next time during the good times you might not take it for granted, but
Yeah.
then the next generation that grows up in that will, so then inevitably again there's going to be shitty times, because this isn't like the first time it's been like a shitty year or whatever. Like,
No, definitely not. You got the whole 40s are just fucking terrible.
yeah, you get wartime, you got like 9/11, you know,
The Great Depression.
Great Depression. Like it's not like
And that's just the United States history.
right, and it's not the first time, so hopefully it leads to something better.
Yeah, I think most things do though. Most things end up
Turning
going
out
somewhere
okay.
positive.
Yeah, most things do turn out okay. But like you never know.
That's the thing.
That is like that. It's easy to say that in hindsight, but like you can't see the future.
Exactly. And no one can unless you're a magician or a psychic. Or probably John Cena. I don't know.
John Cena. Does John Cena know the ways of the future? Is he psychic?
He told me. John Cena told me he knows. He knows the ways of the future. Yeah, dude. John Cena's third eye is located in between his balls. He actually has a third ball that acts as his third eye.
Instead of like producing like cum, it just produces like pure DMT.
Yeah, it's just like an astral projection of like.
He just comes DMT.
He has a mushroom going on his gooch. Anyway, it's been 2.5 hours. I'll probably cut it off.
Okay, that's fair.
It's getting dark. I mean,
Yeah, should probably go home.
it's a pretty good podcast. I had Connor back on. He's the first one to come on twice. Give my boy Connor some love. Hit like, hit subscribe, please.
I
Any
want
final
like
words.
I'm trying to think of a final word. Last time I just said like love each other. I think this is the same message. Like my message is, please love each other, love yourself, be grateful for the life you have, because it's just so crazy and absurd that if you just focus on the bad things, you're just missing the point.
Amen. Yep. All right. Go like and subscribe. This is In the Basement Podcast with Jacob Haken. Go follow the Instagram.
Why are you
Go
talking
do
to
it.
the camera though? The camera's dead.
Oh, you're right, man.
Dumbass.
Damn.
Got you. Anyway, thanks for having me on, bro.
Yep.
I love you.
See you guys.